You in the mix, rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty. You in the sports mix with Kenny, news and knowledge. A lot of dope techniques make kids become scholars. You need to tune in. A lot of hot topics. When it comes to sports, Kenny sound like a prophet. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. Plus he keep you up on all the hottest trends. Plus you never know who he has as a guest. So grab a cold one, man, and just tune in. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. You in the mix. Sports mix. You in the mix. Rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. You in the mix. Sports mix. You in the mix. You rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty.
What up, y'all? It's the Sports Mix. Big Kenny in the building. Long time no see. We back, though. We back. Got a special guest tonight in the round table. Going to join us a little bit later, but got a special guest, man. Wanted to show some love and just give some props to gentleman that was a guest on the Sports Mix a few times. He sat in on the round table with us. You know, host of The Room on his own Facebook page and Cool Convos. Also, my man is a producer over at WEAA on Inside Sports. You can check them out on Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on WEAA. That's Morgan State Radio for those that don't know. So my guy is I'm looking at his bio, and he's a Northeast Baltimore guy through and through. You know, his whole resume, he did a lot of damage up on that Northeast quarter in the city. You know, started out with Northwood in the football and basketball programs up there, down the Hilling Road to Mervo, over to up Hilling Road to you know, Cold Spring to Morgan State. And, you know, recently was nominated or will be inducted into the Morgan State Athletic Hall of Fame. So I want to bring up to the stage, to the show some love for my guy, Glenny Moore. Glenny Moore, what's up, my brother?
What's good, my brother? I'm excited, man. One thing missing, man. I forgot. I didn't get my merch yet. I didn't get the Sports Mix hoodie or shirt. I haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, we got you. No problem. We got that.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Welcome back, man. And this time, you know, a little different. You know, got you on the hot seat right now. Mm-hmm. You've been a member of the round table in the past, but you know, when I saw the announcement, I guess back in the late spring, that you were going into the Hall of Fame up in Morgan State, I reached right out to you and said, "Yo, we got to get you on for that exclusive,
absolutely
interview." Man. So I want to give you props, you know, congratulate you, man, on a job well done. So I, you know, reading over your bio here, you know, I didn't really know the story of how you ended up at Morgan State. So, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. So let's just start off from the beginning. So basically, you're a Northeast Baltimore guy, right? You were born and raised Northeast Baltimore, or did you live somewhere else and came Northeast, or what was the deal?
Watch your mouth, Kenny. Watch your mouth. You got to say that right. You got to say that right. But you know, as when I go on podcasts, even when I go on the radio, the things that I, you know, make clear to everybody. I love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
I love Morgan State University. Absolutely. I love my Mervo school, and I love Northwood, man. I was, you know, an East Side guy, 25th Street off of Harford Road. Okay, and I guess around the age of 7, we moved to Northeast Baltimore in the Northwood community, man. Around 1976, I believe, around 1976, went to Northwood Elementary School. And, you know, during those days, they had all the provisions you need, the recreation center, the football programs, the basketball programs. So me to be introduced to sports. And I always say this, one more thing, Kenny, is my alley boys. My alley boys, the guys on my block, Burnwood, from Tiger to Reggie to Gary Kelly to Lenny Pendell, all those guys, we used to come out in the alley and say, "Hoo the hoo!" And we used to hit the alley, man, and play football, play basketball, football. I'm sure you got stories like that too, man.
Absolutely.
But
that's where it started in the alleys and in the street before we could walk to the court, to the fields. Yep.
And everybody played. Even the person that wasn't nice, even the guy that wasn't nice or whatever, they still played.
The whole neighborhood.
The whole neighborhood didn't matter, man. Yeah.
Yep. So you started off East Baltimore, moved up to Northeast. So I guess, young kids. So that's pretty much where you cut your teeth up there in that Northwood area. So tell me a little bit about your family. Like, was it, you got a big family, a lot of brothers, sisters, or just, what's the deal with your family?
Yeah, that's the key to all this, man. So even when I got the call, for the Hall of Fame, the first thing that comes to your mind is family and friends and people that's been a part of your life, especially the stage of life that I'm in now, is more gratitude.
Right.
It happened at the right time because I could really appreciate being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. So family is the base. My father and mother was very supportive. I had both parents in the home, so I have no excuse. They supported me and always took me to the well. It was up to me to drink how much I drank, but they took me there. So he took me down. My father took me down to the Northwood baseball field. My father took me to Northwood football. Check it out. Is this what you want to do? And I did it all, from baseball to track to football, and I was successful in all of it. And I attributed it to them. And not only that, man, when I was having that success, family have a way of keeping you humble. They allowed me to stick my chest out, my big head in the household, so it wouldn't go out there where people to see, my ignorance or my immaturities. Yeah. My family checked me. And as the community I'm just so grateful, man, for my family. Got a shout out to my brother Peter, who's my oldest brother, Desiree, my oldest sister, and my young sister, Marion Moore, who also she made the Hall of Fame before I made it.
Nice.
Fayetteville State.
What sport?
Fayetteville State basketball. She went to Western High School. Western High School, and then she went on to Fayetteville State and got her a ring. Plus, she made the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's what's up. So y'all like it's like a family affair, family athletes, and Hall of Famers, and so you got in after your sister. So I know she riding you. She gave you a little ribbon because she got in before you, right?
She did, and then I can't forget my son Glenny Moore Jr., man, who followed suit, and a great point guard over at Carver High School, man, and he followed suit, went up the Northwood rankings and played football as well. So he followed it as well. And my daughter, Iceland, she ran track. My oldest daughter, who's a social worker, she attempted to play basketball, but she was beating people up on the court. So we had to cut that real quick. So she graduated from Morgan. She got her master's and bachelor's degree. My daughter, Dominique.
Okay, that's what's up. So Morgan State is like, that's a family thing.
It is, man.
How much pressure you putting on your kids to go to Morgan?
Oh, yeah. The heat is there. The blue and orange is there. I wish I could show you my office, that blue and orange in the office. Yeah. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And look, in my neighborhood on Burnwood, Kenny, let me be very clear. I used to hear the band playing from my backyard on Burnwood. So that was an inspiration early on, not just to go to Morgan, but to wonder what was going on over there. Never thought I would be a part of that whole thing.
Right. Yep. So you not only did you get there, but you excelled while you got there.
Yes, sir.
So on your way up to Morgan, you say you started over at Northwood. So I see you played some basketball and football. So tell me about your basketball career.
Well, basketball probably was my first love, man. I fell in love with Dr. J. Back in those days, we watched that 24-inch television, whether it's black and white or color. And we watched Dr. J. We watched Magic Johnson. And what we did as kids, as you know, we went out there and mimicked them on the court. Yeah. So we would go outside and mimic what they did. And I fell in love with basketball, eventually playing basketball for Northwood Rec. As you're familiar with it, the NBL, Project Survival, Winter Ball, and my coach, Mark K. Vadino, and I love him. and he's going to be there at the Hall of Fame with me right by my side. He used to pack us in his Datsun vehicle, about 13 of us, just getting to his and traveling the city, going to Leaf Walk and going to different places to play, man. But those times were, great. It would test your skills. Baltimore, man, basketball. I mean, I'm playing against Sam Cassell, Ben Harley, those guys, and BNBL and Project Survival. So I wasn't a natural basketball player. I was just an athlete. So I would say that I was an athlete playing basketball. I think if I'd have worked at it more, I would even have went to college to play basketball. But football just became my love over basketball eventually.
Yep. So you played basketball at Northwood, and then you played up at Mervo as well.
Right. So we played at Northwood with Dino, and then so that was I arrived at Mervo, the first freshman class ever at Mervo in 1983.
Okay.
So I went out for the basketball team, but I was ready. I was ready because of the neighborhood, and I was ready because of BNBL and Project Survival. I went out for varsity.
Okay.
I wasn't playing, and my father inspired me. Told me, "You go out for varsity." Even those guys look much bigger. Probably had a tiny bit of fear, but because I knew some of the skills I didn't have, but I had this right here. And Northwood gave me that heart. Yeah. I went out for varsity. I made varsity, and then but it just got started right there. It ain't no good story, man. So Coach Malone, I made varsity. However, I got that report card for first quarter. Failed 2 classes. In those days, you failed 2 classes.
That's it.
You can't play. That's it for real. Like you said, that's it. And changed my life forever. Never failed like that before in my life. And because it took my first love at the time, which is basketball. Then I went out for JV my sophomore year. We won the championship. And I want to be clear, man, that championship team was a great JV team. We thought we were, but we didn't play the Lake Cliftons. We didn't play the Dunbars. But I believe that year we at least gave them a run for their money because we beat everybody else. Yeah. I just wish we had that chance to play Dunbar or Lake Clifton because that was a nice team we had my freshman year. And then my junior year, I think I made all conference. I think second team all conference, and then my senior year make it all conference, and then again we talking Baltimore, so being nominated for the top 30 in the city. And if you look at that list, it was crazy.
That's saying something.
It was crazy.
That's saying something. So you talking? You graduated what, 87?
I graduated 87.
So you talking 85 to 87? I mean, I know some of them names. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to be able to crack that top 30, that's saying something.
And it's ironic. In 86, let me be clear with this, Mervo, we won the championship. So, our conference was Easton City, Patterson. Okay. That was our conference, and we won the championship. And we played before the Dunbar Lake Clifton game. I think it was Dunbar Lake Clifton, but we won the championship at Morgan State University, ironically. The championship game was there, but I broke my foot in the Carver game right before the championship, but we still won the championship. That was crazy. Wow. And listen, all this stuff right here, again, attributed to my dad, the late, great Glenny Dukemore. He videotaped all of it, Kenny. I have all this footage in my storage of when we won the championship game over Morgan, and I have all the footage of most of the games I've played. So I don't have to talk the trash. I could just show the video.
You got the footage. You got the proof. That's what's up, man. Shout out to your pops. Rest in peace to your dad, man. That's good stuff, man. And I'm a softball dad, right? I got video of my daughter playing softball since she was 8.
There you go.
So when she started, she a freshman in college right now. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
She made the decision not to play college sports.
Okay.
And then she played. This the competitor in her. She played travel ball. Her senior year wasn't up to her standards.
Okay.
Right. She was all county. She was second team all county as a junior.
Okay.
And last summer she killed it. She had a great summer last summer.
Right.
Her senior year wasn't up to her standards, and the summer wasn't up to her standards. all year she was telling me I'm gonna play through the summer and that's it. She playing in the summer, and right before the championship game, she told her coach, she said, "Well, if I can play one more year, I'm gonna play next summer."
Wow.
She's gonna play, so she's gonna play on the travel team next summer because she's 18. And up at Towson State, she playing on the club team.
Okay.
So she still got the bug. You know what I'm saying?
She still got
the bug, So
don't force it. Let her do it on her own, man.
I'm out of it. I'm out of it. But I'm like that with all my kids. Once they got a certain age, it was dead. I could see whether they wanted it or not. I wasn't going to force them out there into something that they didn't want to do. So let's get into, so you top 30 as a basketball player. Also, see, in '87, you were nice on that track.
Well, hold up. Let's be clear. In basketball, how can I say this? Again, I was never really looked at in the top 10, like with the Sam Cassells and Ben Harley, but I was competitive against those guys.
Yeah.
But I had the opportunity. I didn't want to be on their team. Right. I wanted to be on my own team, and that was Northwood. But remember, at that time, five-star basketball camp, right? You remember that?
Yep, I remember that.
So my junior year, Leon Howard. I don't know if you remember Leon Howard.
I know his son. I know his son real well.
I played against his son. So he had to sign whether you go to five-star basketball camp. So I went to pitch my father. Here we go. You guys from Baltimore who's watching right now, Simon Harris. My dad took me down to Simon Harris, bunch of sweatsuits, bunch of shorts, packed my bags. He put me on a plane by myself to fly to Pittsburgh to play five-star basketball camp. Where I was in the college league, and you had Alonzo Mourning and a few other notables, that Rick Fox, they were in the NBA part of it. But when I went there, even though I was from Baltimore, Kenny, I realized that I thought I was very good. But when I got the five-star, I was average. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. When I got the five-star, I was just an average player. But so that kind of changed my mind. So I said, I might want to catch some footballs, man. I might want to catch some football. Basketball ain't going to get me in the NBA.
But you got to see up close and personal what that next level looked like.
Yeah,
the Alonzo Mournings, the Billy Owens, all them dudes is in that same wheelhouse.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
That's tough. That's tough. So let's talk about your track exploits there. See, you was MSA track championship, 100 meter, 200 meter, 4x100 meter.
Let me be clear. I did not like no track. I didn't want to run no track. But as an athlete, the coaches come out and they say, you got to run. The football team said, you got to run. And even with baseball at Northwood, I couldn't stand baseball, but I was just good at it. Still making the all-star team, but I didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
Then went on to at Mervo with the late, great Coach Freddie Hendricks. I ran for Coach Hendricks. So I knew he would make me great because he made everybody great. In 1987, we won that championship, man. That was crazy. Yeah. That was great. And then we got one more story about track. One more story about track. I had the opportunity to run in Penn relays.
Okay.
The great event, Penn relays. Had the opportunity. We were fast, Kenny, just like the experience with five-star basketball camp. We thought we were good. We thought we were great. We got just ignorant. I was just ignorant. When we got on that track, it was like you was running on air. I mean, we were floating. It's like, I can't describe it, but the track was beautiful. It's for a runner. And I was flying, and we won our heat, and we were flying, kidding. We blew them up.
Yeah.
Man, when the times came in after all the heats, we was like number 50. We were ranked like 50. I didn't understand it at the time. Yeah. I thought I was fast. Got the Penn relays. Wasn't that fast. Crazy.
I see your classmate chimed in, Antonio Herbert.
My man, he's on. Okay.
I see him in the comments. He in the comments. Man. I see.
He'll tell you.
Yeah.
He'll tell you.
Yeah, that's my guy. We went up CCB together.
Yeah. He'll tell you. Ain't nothing like Mervo track, man. And they still doing it. Nothing like Mervo track.
What was the name of the guy from Mervo that went to the Olympics a few years back?
Yeah, we just had him on the radio station, James Carter.
James Carter. Okay, yeah.
Ran in Olympics. Yeah, I had him on the radio show a few weeks ago for him to share about the Olympics. Yeah.
Nice. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So let's get to this gridiron. Let's get to the gridiron. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you played up there at the legendary Northwood football program. So, you know, you started over there. So so what ages did you play up at Northwood?
So my father took me. Look, I always tell this story. In baseball, I was killing it. And then I was playing third base. I just thought I was Brooks Robinson. A line drive came down third base, man. Hit me in the throat. I can't breathe. I said, I don't want to play no more, man. Then I signed up for football like an idiot. You know, like the hit was going to stop. Yeah. Went down to Mervo when Northwood Football League existed, where that Burgundy was down there, and just kids 10 to 12, 9 to 11, 7 to 9, 13, 15. It was just nothing like it, man. And when I went, I was like, this is a family. Yeah. And I went down there, man, and that's where I got my roots from and my toughness from, and that heart from playing for Northwood Football League. I played 9-11 first for Coach Spratley, 10-12, where the great Coach Andrews from Dunbar, he's the one. I played line. I always been a thick guy. So I don't look like your prototype wide receiver. I don't look like your prototype guard. And I had number 50, Kenny. And then my 10-12, he said, and I said, and you remember, I just love to entertain the audience. So I wanted to get a touchdown. I wanted to do a dance, and I wanted to do all that stuff. Yeah. And he said, go ahead, Glenny. He finally put me out on the wide receiver position. And, man, the quarterback threw the ball. You remember Clint Mimi of the Power Force. I don't know if you know him or not.
I kind of heard the name, but not really familiar.
He was our quarterback. And Donnell, Cool C and Cool D from the Power Force. And he threw the ball up, and a spectacular, and the audience was shook. It shook me. And from that point, that's when it all started, playing wide receiver and just making sure that I catch a touchdown to do a touchdown dance and watching my mother run down the sideline right along with me. Nothing like it. Northwood against Gardenville, Northwood against Overly, Northwood against Stenbridge, Northwood against Arbutus. I don't know if you played or not, Kenny, but, you know, it was nothing like football at that time, and it just created a toughness in me that could never be taken to this day.
You know, I could never make the weight.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
I could never make it.
They did.
That's what they did. The weight.
I wish the kids knew that we had to weigh ourselves, man. I had to make weight.
I was blown away when I just heard. I was talking to my cousin recently. They said they don't do weight no more for youth football.
Yeah, they do it differently now. But back then, the whole team used to line up, and you had to make weight.
Yeah, I can never make it. Even going up an age, I was always a big kid. So you know, and I was tall and a big kid always. So I could never get that weight.
Right.
And I just didn't have interest in running around with a trash bag. Running around. I wanted to at least play. You know what I'm saying? So they were just, no, you got to run. You got to get the weight off. So I just didn't take to it. You know. Yeah. So you go from Northwood. Any exploits up at Northwood? Any championships up there? Any?
Yeah. We won a championship at Northwood. We the ones who started. I think, you know, late 70s, early 80s. We got a championship. Again, we was at war with Gardenville, and they beat us, and then we came back to beat them. We played against Howard County. They was the biggest boys I ever seen in my life. Kenny, they came to Mervo Field, and it was like, I couldn't believe how big these white boys were. Yeah. They were huge. And on Mervo Field, they beat our butts. But then we had something for them when we got back to them. And just that competition right there prepared me for high school, prepared me for college, going to hit that competition at that time was incredible. The atmosphere with the parents on the sideline at Northwood, it was just incredible. Then here's the crazy part again, is that when I went to Mervo, I chose not to play JV football. Like an idiot. That JV team went undefeated, smacked everybody around, the Dunbar, the Southerns, and I didn't play. I chose to play 1 year for Gardenville, 12-14, because I wanted to go to Florida. I wanted to go to Florida because I knew that every year they would go to Florida. I signed up. We got to Florida, and some guys beat us in Florida. But I wish I'd have played on that Northwood JV team. And then, the Gardenville, Mervo JV team, I didn't play. I went out for Mervo junior year, and they was playing games with me. They was playing games with me. The coach didn't know me. He didn't know the neighborhood, so he didn't know, that I had that talent. Right. And I think he put me at tight end or something, and then I started catching balls, and it just was a running team. So my junior year just had a subpar year, and then my senior year, it just individual wise, it was bananas. Because we didn't have a true quarterback. We had a running quarterback, Brian Spain, who was talented and athletic as ever, but he just wasn't a throwing quarterback. But I was still killing the conference. I was still killing the city, and leading in receptions, leading in total yards, and always in top 5 and all of that, until I got to the MSA All-Star game. Another nightmare. I'm giving you mountains and valleys, Ken. I wish I could brag on myself. I'm at the age now where I show some humility. I was chosen.
Humility is good.
Yeah, man.
Somebody gonna learn from this.
Right. So the Big 33 game, I was nominated for that, but I didn't. They didn't choose me.
Okay.
They chose whoever they chose, but I got chosen for the MSA All-Star game, city against county. Yeah. Went up to Cardinal Gibbons for the practice. I'm not aware of what's going on, but it was McDonough, Gilman, Dunbar, all the top level team. I hit that for these guys. You talking about you big? All of them look like you. Yeah. They were huge. You could tell they was ready for college. I may have did 5 push-ups at that time in my life. Those guys was ready. You could tell they've been in the weight room. But Kenny, when we hit that Cardinal Gibbons field and started practice against those guys, destroyed them, man. Destroyed them. And but then the MSA All-Star game happened. I had a horrible game. The white boy wide receiver caught a pass and ran past me. And I just had a horrible game, and my stock went down. And because I was planning to go to Maryland. My eyes were set on Maryland. My coach knew the Maryland coach. I was set to go to Maryland, and they were going to send me to their farm team. They'll send you out to prepare you. Right. And after that game, I ain't heard from nobody. So I had to walk on at Mervo. I'm in Morgan. People don't know this.
Yeah, I saw that in your info there. So
my teammates even didn't even know it.
So with the city county All-Star game, right? Yeah. Where was that played at? Was it at John Hopkins?
No, it was at we practiced at Cardinal Gibbons, and we played that game at Poly High School, and it was packed.
Okay.
The coach, it was scouts all up and down the practices. And remember at that time it was Nathan Ayers. He's the reason that I chose Morgan. The great Nathan Ayers from Dunbar, Sam Beverly, who was my childhood friend, and those guys was on the team. And we played the game at Poly, and man, my stock went down. And I found out. We thought Nathan Ayers were going to go to somewhere like Alabama or Penn State. He's recruited all over the country. When I found out he was going to Morgan, I said, then I started considering going to Morgan, but I had to walk on. Yeah. And that's how I earned my scholarship. I did it the old-fashioned way. And my father talked me into it, man. Make your own name. Make your own name. And he used to say stuff like, he just inspired me, man. He was like, he will always be in my ear. go ahead and make your own name. And that's how it all started with Morgan.
Yeah, so I was definitely going to ask you about the whole walk-on process. So you're in your freshman year, and
My
you walk
freshman
on
year.
in the spring.
You remember Proposition 48?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to. I didn't have enough credits,
Okay.
and I had to sit out my first year. So I didn't play in 1987 at Morgan. A lot of people didn't know that. I didn't play at all, and you lose that year, and we'll come back to that in a minute. You lose that 1 year, so I couldn't play that 1 year. So I sat and watched, and you could see the potential of Morgan at that time. And I went out in the spring, and the first practice, I'll never forget it, Kenny. They threw me all on the field. These guys, they used to go in the weight room. These guys, who was humongous. Remember at Mervo, we had no weight room. Yeah. And I told you I probably did 10 push-ups before I practiced. That's all I did. But I had a big heart, man. And so I went out for the spring ball, and they threw me all around the field. My first practice, I said, this ain't happening. Nah. Yeah. After that, man, I just lit them up. And earned my scholarship for the 1988 season.
That's what's up, man.
And legitimate. It was legitimate, Kenny.
So you go from a walk-on in the spring of '88 to the '88 in the fall. You first team All MEAC rookie, all rookie team, and you led the conference in yards per catch.
It was crazy. I can only attribute it, and I know people may not understand it. I can only attribute it to my parents and my family giving me a foundation to do it in my good time and grow and mature to be what I became. And then that Northwood roots, the Mervo roots, never looking like the prototype wide receiver. No one originally looking at me as that guy. I had to earn on each level. So my freshman year, when I went out there, man, I was hungry. I was so hungry. I knew that I could do it because I was killing them in spring ball. And then my freshman year had one of the greatest freshman years in Morgan State history, and being a unanimous decision, the first unanimous rookie chosen to make All MEAC. And rookie of the weeks, multiple touchdowns. I was average like 20 yards a catch. Had an incredible freshman year. And then I told you one thing, Kenny, when you had that kind of success, of course your head grow. When I had that success my first year, I was ready to move forward, man. I was like, now I'm ready for Maryland. And but I stayed like I always did. I stayed at Northwood. I stayed at Mervo. I wanted to be different. I didn't want to go do what everybody else doing. I wanted to make my own mark, and I believe I did that. Start with my freshman year, and I killed it. And then my sophomore year, voted preseason All-American, and had a stellar sophomore year as well. And we had a talented team. We were losing though, Kenny, but those teams were so talented. If I name even these guys were so talented, we just couldn't get the wins, man. And I don't know. I think you know the great Hall of Fame quarterback Darrell Jackson. Yeah. I never had the ball thrown to me like that. And when he threw me the ball, he made it easy. And all he had to do was throw it up. It wasn't no scientific thing. All he had to do was throw it in my area. And I was hungry enough. I was going to go get that ball.
Yeah.
So I made my mark, man. Yeah.
But one thing about it, you like you mentioned, the teams was talented. They was good teams. You just wasn't winning games.
Yeah.
I say that same thing. Like, when you go to battle with people, when you practice, you see people practice habits. You know what kind of dogs you working with.
Mm-hmm.
It's guys like, we didn't win no championships, but it's guys that I played with. I would go to battle with them any day of the week, twice on Sunday. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Just because like you said, the pedigree, right? And like wins and losses don't always measure the heart of the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it's the opportunity. Sometimes it's just the ball just don't bounce your way. But I get that. I get that 100%, man. Like I said, I went to war with some guys that we didn't win this or that, but I know the type of guys they were. You know what I'm saying? And I know when it's time to go to battle, they bring in their lunch pail. You know what I mean?
Sir.
They bring their lunch pail and they ready to rock.
Yes, sir.
You know? So you played Morgan from 88 to 91.
No, I didn't. I played from 88. I played 88. I played 89. Made all MEAC both years. Daryl Jackson graduated. Daryl Jackson, that was his last year. So now we had to depend on a freshman quarterback to come in to follow in his footsteps. So right there tells you a lot. Yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, and I got hurt the second game of the season, and the coach persuaded me to sit out. You just sit out and come back. Maybe the quarterback could be better next year, heal your injury, and get better. The coach got fired, so I didn't play 1990. I didn't play 1990 because of a red shirt injury. I played 1991. With a new coach, Coach Ricky Diggs. He came aboard.
I remember Coach Diggs.
And he changed the whole thing to the run and shoot. But I think he made a bad choice. I don't know if he would admit to it. He put me in the inside receiver. He made me an inside receiver, encouraging me, Glenny, you'll get more catches if you play inside receiver. So I was always obedient. I listened to the coach. However, I was getting more catches, and I had more catches even than my first 2 years, but they was only for 3 to 5 yards. They were only 3 to 5 yards, and that just wasn't my style of play. I was a big play guy. I was a total yards guy, and I had a subpar senior year. It didn't work out, and then at one time I had sights for the NFL. Even teams checking me out and getting letters for agents and. But my senior year, after going through the junior year where I didn't play to the senior year, the name wasn't ringing bells like it was. So, and I was done with it. I was worn out with it, and that was it. Yeah, man.
So your post career, you didn't have that withdrawal. What next? After that you kind of done with it, or?
I was done with it, but I was so talented. They talked me into playing. I wasn't even in shape. They talked me into playing for the Baltimore Bears.
Okay.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro, yeah, I heard of them.
Yeah, so I went out, as always. Yeah, you might get some time, this, that, and the other. They talked that stuff like I wasn't going to do well. That always, every level, again, Kenny, I was told that I'm not the prototype wide receiver, yada, yada, yada. Went out for the Baltimore Bears, did well, big plays, played about 6 games, but I didn't have a desire. Yeah. Plus, I didn't have any insurance. Right. Look, I'm going to do it on public, only on your show, Kenny. I'm going to do this publicly. I still got fingers that's broken because I couldn't get them fixed because I had no insurance. Yeah, don't screenshot that, y'all. Don't screenshot that. But, man, I did well with that. But I didn't have a desire anymore.
So as we wind it down, I'm gonna bring up one of my roundtable guys.
Bring him up.
The good Doctor. Doctor also played some college football at Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Played for John Harbaugh too, and the dad.
Jack Harbaugh. Okay.
Let me bring up Dr. Melvin Scott, one of my homeboys from down Turner Station. What's up, Mel? He froze.
Okay.
What's going on with you?
What's happening, man?
Chilling. Hey, what's up, Glenny?
How you doing, man? You bringing the Turner Station guys on here, man. Okay.
You know it. Chestnut Street.
That's right.
Chestnut.
We wrapping up with Glenny, man. So I just wanted I gave Glenny the first part of the show, man. Glenny got getting inducted into the Hall of Fame up at Morgan State.
Yeah. So, I was just getting out of school when he was like just going to Morgan. I remember.
Yeah. So Glenny Glenny been part of the show, and I said, man, let me bring you on and give you some flowers, brother.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Definitely, man, wanted to get you on here. So, you talked about your career a little bit, your playing career. So post college, post football, I know you're a family man. You're a spiritual guy. I know you have. Is it one podcast or is it two? I know you call The Room and then you got Cool Convo. So is it two different things or?
So it's two different things. And be clear, I didn't start that back in the day. I wasn't spiritual back in the day. That's a whole nother testimony. So that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show.
I don't want to talk about the old days.
Yeah, you probably will put rated R there. But presently I have The Room, which I come on every Monday, and just encourage the community, man, spiritually. Once again, I'm a believer of Jesus Christ, and I want to spread the gospel and help people and encourage people. So I do that every Monday at 7:30. And then I have Cool Convos, which I do maybe once every month, once every 2 months, where I celebrate leaders and football players, entertainers, and interview them on that platform, Cool Convos.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I first caught up with you. When I know you had Coach Wade on. I don't know if you had Daryl or Coach Bob Wade first.
Yeah, both of them, man.
I know I saw both of them. I don't know which one came first.
Yeah,
that's kind of when I first started following you.
Yeah, that's crazy because Bob Wade doesn't come out too often. And the first time
I'm trying to get him too.
And the first time I saw you is when you had Reggie Williams.
And Reggie, yep.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
Thank God for the Mervo guys because his brother hooked it up.
Yeah, he hooked me up too. Yep, that's right.
Mervo was crazy. I remember we played over at Mervo when I was at Southwestern and it got dark. You know how we ain't had no lights in the city back then.
That's right.
And fourth quarter got dark and you know how they are over there. We had to get the police to get the bus out of school.
Yes, sir. I know.
They had that thing shaking and rocking, and I ain't usually scared after a football game. I was like, get us out of here.
And it's even worse now. That's the shame. It's even worse now.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they got a nice field over there too. You got the lights and everything.
Beautiful
situation over there.
Back in our days, when you got to the end of the season, them last couple games, it's dark when you got about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. Got one more. So this guy's a Mervo and a Morgan State grad as well. Y'all Mervo.
There we go.
Bring my man Dean up. Dean, what's up, brother?
Man, hanging in there. Glad to be on board.
There it is.
So at least I got a turning station guy with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. but you know what? Dean got some turning station too. So it's all good though. So as we wrapping up, so Glenny, you're going into the hall. So the ceremony, is it a ceremony? Is it like before a game? How's that going to work?
Oh yeah. So it's crazy, man. I got the call in the spring, man. And, it's just nothing like it. I know you guys seen clips of like NFL's guys where they knock on the door for the Hall of Fame. I cry when I see that. So you can imagine when I got the call of saying that you're being inducted. But it's going to be Friday, November the 15th. And again, about timing, Kenny, they were doing it at hotels and the Hilton Hotel and stuff like that. Now it's back on campus in that beautiful facility.
That's nice.
Ballroom. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's nice.
That beautiful facility. The food going to be good. And the tickets are pretty pricey, but it's so when you get there, you were like, oh yeah, that's why it's like that. And but again, it's Friday. They have the reception at 6 to 7. That's where we get the meet and greet the past Hall of Famers and stuff like that. 7 o'clock, the ceremony will start, and I'm looking forward to it, man. But my grandkids gonna be there. I'm dedicating it to my mother, Mama Moore. I'm dedicating the Hall of Fame to her. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Everything I talked about today, we all going in. Northwood, Mervo, Hall of Fame.
Take the sports mix in there with your tea.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how many times have you written and ripped up your speech?
Oh no, I come off the dome with that.
That's the best way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, got to come from the heart.
And from the heart.
But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go ahead and fess up with you guys. I'm a punk now. Now, since I was little till I was about 50 years old, I never cried.
Yeah.
If my daughter knock at the door now, I start crying, man. I don't know why. Everything that happens, I cry. My wife will tell you, man, I'm a punk right now. So I'm glad she married me first before I came a punk. But I know when I get in front of those people, when I get in front of my family, I'm a ball. I already know I'm going to ball. I'm gonna have me a towel up there, not a tissue, but a towel up there, man. It's nothing like it, man, because I'm carrying it for everybody. I'm carrying it for Northwood, carrying it for Mervo, carrying it for my family. So it's deeper than Glenny. It ain't even about me. It's about them. Yeah.
And give me a little bit about the radio show you producing up there at Morgan.
Oh, that's incredible, man. They asked me to come aboard to produce the show, to improve on the content, to improve on the guests. And I think we've been doing that, man. So we on every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on WEA Radio, 88.9 FM. Also, you can listen to it online at weaa.org. But we've been having great guests, and it's really just getting started, But I'm still working on the big shots. Like, I want Carmelo on. I want Angel Reese on. I want those superstars to get on. But we've had Brian Jordan. We've had different guests that we're excited about. And also, we celebrate Morgan sports along with sports in the community and abroad. So it's every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. with the Hall of Fame announcer, Lamont Germany.
Nice. So before we get into the round tables talk, just one more time, man, I want to congratulate you on your Hall of Fame induction.
Definitely.
I know from following your Facebook, man, I know you love Morgan State.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So for to have that love for the university, man, and to be now you etched in stone up there forever. Forever. You're a Hall of Famer, man, and that's an awesome accomplishment on you, man. And much love and respect to you for that accomplishment, brother.
Todd Bozeman going on in that class too.
Nice.
Todd Bozeman, the coach Jason Kidd, had the championships at Morgan. Yeah, he's going in that class too.
That's what's up, man.
What year were you up at Morgan playing?
So I did. I played 88, 89, and 91.
Okay. Yeah, man. I'm just hearing this news, man. This is big news, man. I definitely want to congratulate you on that. And man, let the tears flow, man. You know, when you get to this point and you've done this thing and it's being recognized, and then the way you put it about it being about everybody else, I mean, that's big stuff right there, man. And just let it flow, man. Let it flow.
Yes, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
Don't get me to crying, Dean. Don't get me to crying.
Go ahead, let it go. Go ahead, let it go.
I know that's what he's trying to do, but I ain't gonna cry right now.
November 15th is the start of basketball season for me. So I know I ain't be able to make that. That'll be my first practice of the year. And I'm looking forward to that. But, I'm sure there'll be some footage of you in your speech and all the goings-ons with the Hall of Fame announcement. And I will be looking forward to all of that.
Hey, do you know you got any of you guys, Kenny, do you know Coach Earl Davis?
I'm familiar with the name.
So Coach Earl Davis, let's be clear, that was, they just enshrined him in his plaque for the weight room, the training facility at the Eddie P. Hurt Gymnasium. That was my wide receiver coach. He's another person that impacted my life. I'm sure you guys, if you see his picture, you'll be like, I know Coach Earl. If you ever came on Morgan's campus, anything affiliated with Morgan, Coach Earl Davis is the man. And that was my position coach, Coach Earl Davis. He's also being honored at the Hall of Fame banquet as well.
Nice. That's what's up, man. So let's go ahead on and turn to this NFL. Baltimore Ravens, they 0-2, man. The season is over. Harbaugh needs to be fired.
Nope.
The offensive coordinator need to go. You know,
Nah.
they need to make trades. Everything got to go today.
Nope.
Man.
Early season, you gotta get everything to gel. Offense is always harder than defense to gel.
Well, you know, I got some reasonable folks online here with me. So, you know, but when you read through the comments, man, people are losing their mind.
I know. If you fired Harbaugh, who's probably the winningest coach over the last 10 years, except for Andy Reid, who do you replace him with?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, that part.
0-2, but they'll probably still win 12 games or so this year.
Yeah. And 0-2 and got what? 15 more to go.
They'll probably win about 12 of them. The Ravens have got a good organization. And I mean, right now I feel like the offense is struggling a little bit to gel or figure an identity out, but that's always with offense.
Yeah. And coming to the stage in grand fashion as he always does. You know, the cheese, the cheddar, fromage, Rob Gardner.
What's good? What's good?
What's happening, brother?
What's up, man?
The Shador hater.
I know. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah, so we
What's going on, man?
What's going on, T?
Get into this Ravens. You know, the season over, Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? They need a new coach. They need a new offensive coordinator. The quarterback got to go. They just need a whole new team. They got to start from scratch today.
Hey, Kenny. Hey, first, can I congratulate Glenny?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
Man, I totally respect you now. I don't know if you know Glenny, but we got a lot of mutual friends because I went to Northern. And
Yes,
so I was new, you know, I used to play ball with Tommy and
yes, sir.
I know that's your people. They good dudes, man. So
yes, indeed. Yeah.
And my man Clayton and everybody else. So
oh man, you naming names right now. Yes, sir.
So we played ball together up Northern. So I know how much you meant to that area. So send a lot of love to you, man. That's what's
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even though you went to Mervo and I was a Viking, but it's all good. You know?
Yeah. Do I need to bring up clippings of the score from
No,
Mervo?
you don't.
Okay, okay.
Hey, those clippings go for anybody Northern played.
That's true.
Hey, Cheese, I love you to death, but that was a stat game.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's crazy, Glenny and Doc? When I got up there in 11th grade, and so my plans was to play basketball. But I don't know if you remember Coach Hemphill.
Mm-hmm.
He was the coach of football, and he asked, he's like, Rob, you gotta come out. I didn't want to get hurt because I wanted to play ball. 12th grade year, he asked me. I said, man, I want to play ball. But I should have played. The hindsight, I should have played.
Yeah.
Ravens could use y'all guys, man.
Wow.
They having auditions tomorrow.
Tackle me, I'm going to jail. I'm too old. I'm way too old.
Right.
They Flowers need some help, Glenny.
Yeah, and that's what stands out to me, Dean. That Flowers was the only one catching the ball, and likely here and there. But we need somebody else to step up. Oh, now my guy, he's trying to step up, the third receiver.
Bateman.
He's trying.
I think they just need to cut ties with Bateman.
Yeah, he's been hanging around.
He's been around for 3-4 years now. If he ain't hurt, he ain't doing nothing. It's like, okay. I think they good.
He must be dating Harbaugh's daughter or something because he always hanging around.
Hey, I'll tell you a funny story about the Harbaugh. John was my position coach. Jack was the head coach. Jack's daughter ended up marrying the basketball coach that was at Indiana. But Jack's daughter, she got smashed by a few guys on the team. Because she was all like our age. So if it runs in the family, hey, you never know.
Hey, is her name Michelle?
All right, I'm a chill. Let's chill on that.
Shea Sharpe.
Kenny, you put the wrong crew together today.
Yeah.
And you know what? I needed this.
I do think the Ravens.
I needed this.
I do think the Ravens are going to be all right as the season settles. They're not a bad team. They're just not cohesive right now. And the offense is always a step behind. I think they have to make their mind up how they're going to use Derrick Henry from week to week. Because it's 1 week where he had 18 carries last week, 4 or 5 the first week. You got to have more consistency with that.
Yeah, is the line? Do you think the line is ready to block for him? Because they look.
I want to see him in a couple of weeks because, I play running back, you play receiver. That line offense is hard to gel, and I mean it's nothing like going live. And none of them played together during the preseason, so you got to take this. Like Kansas City always look horrible the first 3 or 4 games, and then by the time you get midseason form, Kansas City putting up 35 a night.
Well, they didn't put it up against us. Our defense held them together.
Yeah, I'm not giving up on them because I when they're rolling like last year with the Ravens 13-4 and 14-3.
Yeah,
and they have a really good organization. They do a good job of putting pieces in and doing what they got to do.
Which is half the battle in the league. Because if you look at Carolina, they already benching the quarterback.
You might as well bench that whole team.
Yeah.
That's when you need a free trial.
But you see, I've been saying all last 2 days is what they traded to get him. They traded away DJ Moore, they traded away all this to get the quarterback.
But they didn't surround him with anybody.
They bring him on a bad team, and now he's the fall guy for bad play.
He's a fall guy for a team that has no players around him.
Right.
I think as a quarterback, you scar them 1 or 2 years, and you never can fix that.
Yeah, and I just saw where Sam Darnold, somebody said it was Sam Darnold who was with Carolina and Baker Mayfield who spent some time there. Both of them were balling.
They balling, yeah.
They balling. So get that young man out of Carolina.
But when Baker and Sam Darnold was at the Carolina, kind of had similar results.
Yeah. Yep. So they gotta get that young man out of Carolina.
I think he's decent. Who's number 1 receiver on the Carolina right now?
Good question.
There's 5 of us and nobody can name it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Who's their tight end? Who's their lineman? Like you would have to go pull your internet up to find out who starts on that offense.
Right.
Yeah. That's bad.
So Kenny, when should we start judging the Ravens then?
I'm a 4-game guy.
I'm a 4 or 5 game guy. I'm a 4 or 5 game guy.
Yeah. After the 4th game is when I kind of get a feel for what they are.
Okay.
Now what's y'all take on the guys not really playing in the preseason? I know they practicing every day. Should they be playing some snaps during the preseason or is it preseason overrated?
Old school days they played. Nowadays they don't play.
Yeah, and I know the money is the main reason they don't want these guys to get hurt. But I think for continuity, you got to get some reps. You got to get some reps. You're not going to play the whole game. They're only playing 3 preseason games now.
I think they need to play at least a half a game together. I mean, football is an impact sport, so you can get hurt walking to the sideline. And I just think they got to play together. And if you look at the Ravens offense, how much more cohesive they'd be right now if they play together in the preseason.
Malvin, what if we lose Henry? What if we lose Lamar in that preseason? Boy, that'll set the whole tone for the year.
That's agree. Scary. But what if you go 0-4 trying to get gelling and now you're out of everything? I mean, I don't say play them a half a game, but at least a quarter. Like you know how it is. You can't just go back to college days. The time we got done with fall camp and that first game came, you was just happy to see another color. But when you think about it, when you walked out there, everything wasn't clicking because they wasn't moving like the practice teams. So I just think they need to play a little bit, just a little bit of live bullets. I don't think I play my superstars a whole bunch. Did Lamar play at all during the preseason?
No, not at all. No.
How much did Henry play?
I don't think he played at all either.
How much did the line play together?
The line may have played a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, so we get to game 1, and you expected them to, and with them bringing in the new parts, I don't think Derrick Henry is what he used to be, but I still think he can make a difference.
Absolutely.
I think so too.
You didn't see that stiff arm?
I saw it. I don't think he's a 1,500-yard back no more, but I do think if he can get 800 or 900 with the threat of Lamar, that changes a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I saw that stiff arm.
Yeah.
Usually 4 games. After like the 4th game, I kind of get a feel for it.
After 4 or 5 games, every team around, you kind of know what you're getting there.
Yeah, and then I go from that. I go for about the 4th game. So like, I mean, and they've been in both of these games. It's not like they came in these games and just stunk the bed up. They've been in both games.
And that's why I'm not worried. If they were out there and they got beat 35-3 or something, you'd be like, oh, this is trouble. But they could have easily won both games they lost.
Yeah, yep, absolutely, absolutely. And then, the game of inches. I mean, if Likely had a size 12 instead of a 13, that's a touchdown.
That's the closest toe on the line I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It would have been a touchdown 10 years ago without instant replay.
Now let's
true.
so
Good
so
point.
with a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter, should they have been running Derrick Henry to get the clock out?
We can always look in hindsight and say, it's the flow of a game. So you can always look in hindsight and say.
And that's why when people come back after a game and say, well, this person only got this many touches, well, they ran this many times versus that many times throwing. I'm like, the flow of a game dictate what you call it.
Yeah.
So if the game dictate that you throw, you throw. You know what I'm saying? So like in the first game, when they was 4th and 2, and they threw the little out, and what's called Mr. Block, the receiver, Mr. Block, that would have freed it and would have got the first down. By him missing the block, the play was there. He just missed the block. Had he made the block, he might have got 15, 20 on that.
Yeah, I feel like when the games are getting to the end, if you play to win, you usually lose. So if you come out there with a 10-point lead, you got 9 minutes left, and you start running them 3 and outs, you can kind of walk that team back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should. I think we should start how we want to finish. Last year, we didn't do that. We finished throwing the ball like Mahomes, and that we're not built that way. We built to run that ball. So I do think we should have. I think we should have fed Henry, even though we felt it was an urgency there. I think we need to dominate with how we're built, and that's running the ball.
Go back to the championship game. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And they were successful against Kansas City running the ball. I don't know what made them decide to pop up 35 passes or something like that.
Yeah.
I think Lamar's out to prove something this year, so I don't think he's going to pass up those running opportunities too much this season.
What'd you guys think of that last play when did you think he should have lateraled that or just kept rolling? Because I thought he had some, at least
he ran in the end zone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He could have went in the end zone with that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I looked at that. I'm like, man, why did he throw it back? I'm like, I don't know, but
yeah. And it's always easy to see it, like from reverse, like looking at it when it's over. But I still think he should have ran it in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Plus, he's the best player. I wouldn't mind him. I want him to have the ball last.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We're gonna lose with him.
Yeah.
So,
I think they'll be all right though. Like, let's give them a couple more weeks. We'll have a feel for what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm a scroller, so I'll be reading and people, I'll be checking people comments and man, they're gonna be 0-5.
Baltimore fans are something else.
They're horrible.
Yes. Their loyalty is only thick as the last game.
Yeah.
Man, they said, man, we're gonna be up. We got the Cowboys, Bills, and Bengals coming up. And people got them losing all 3 of them.
No, they own the Bengals. I think they're like 7-1 against the Bengals in the last 8 games or something. Buffalo, they kind of own. And Dallas, like, man, well, that's Dallas.
They didn't look so good last week.
On paper, Dallas will go to the Super Bowl, but when they start playing, you don't know which team coming out.
Every year.
But look, can I say this? That's the same thing about the 49ers. They look like a Super Bowl team the week before, and then they look like a soft team this previous week.
I don't like the 49ers.
Me neither. I'm not impressed at all.
I feel like they're vastly overrated. They struggle terribly against physical teams. Last year, all 3 of their losses came to NFC North team, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Ravens. And they got beat pretty good in all three of them. But when you put them in that division where you guaranteed 8 wins, shit, you can win 13 or 14 games out of that division.
And their key guys stay hurt.
Yeah.
If Purdy got everybody, he looks like a world beater. When he's missing one of them, he looks just like somebody that don't even need to be on the field half the time.
Yeah.
I hate the 49ers.
Now,
He's out. He's out for 4 weeks.
Yeah, I thought I just saw that.
He out for 4 weeks.
I kind of like their pieces though. I think Debo and McCaffrey are tough, man. I mean, that's just my opinion, but
I think they all happen to luck up and be in an absolutely wonderful situation and system. If you take any of them out that system without those other parts, I'm not quite sure. And McCaffrey having the time of his life in San Fran, but you know he wasn't doing all that the last 3 or 4 years in Carolina. And Debo, he hurt every other week, so I ain't quite sure. He's a football player, though. I'll give credit. He's a football player. But he gonna get 100 this week and gonna miss the next 3 weeks of back injury.
I think because he's the league too.
What'd you say, D?
You see McCaffrey on somebody's team?
Yeah, his brother played for the Redskins?
Who?
Is the Redskins? Yeah.
Somebody like that.
At the receiver.
Christian brother.
He's good, but I just think they all like, you know how a whole bunch of good pieces come to one place? I feel like that's what San Fran is.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this, man. I am worried about the Ravens because I thought it was a risky move to allow for 3 offensive linemen to leave at one time in the season, and then, you know, always trying to trust in DeCosta. I'm thinking these guys, Voorhees and I ain't never had any kind of faith in Falele, but Voorhees and them guys, I'm thinking that they was going to be able to fill the void. I think that they thought that they was going to fill the void, and I also thought that the Ravens were thinking that they were going to get one of those primetime offensive linemen, but there was a pretty heavy run in offensive linemen before the Ravens drafted, and hence they went and drafted the guy Wiggins, who may have been the best player on the field at the time. But anytime, I mean, yeah, the offense, I agree with Doc. The offense takes a while to gel, and that offensive line in particular takes a while to gel. And I am worried, man, because the offensive line, man, you know, you got Lamar Jackson, your $250 million quarterback, and you bringing in Derrick Henry, who's a 30-year-old running back who still got it. He still can do some things. But then you let 3 linemen go, and now you got 3 guys in there who haven't really played well at all. And I'm worried about the line. And I've seen Pittsburgh play this year. They look rugged, and you know Tomlin know how to get every ounce out of his players. And we are in one of the toughest divisions, so they gonna need to straighten it out. This 4 or 5 game rule we talking about here, game 5, man, gonna mean a lot. When we get to game 5 and see where we are, it's gonna mean a lot.
Yeah.
I think the salary cap is conducive to all the teams. When you paying these quarterbacks $250 and all that other stuff, you kind of strap yourself from getting other players. And you see it all around the league now. I don't think the line play is that great. Look at all the money that the Bears spent. And look how they ran all across Caleb Williams just last night. And you can count Joe Burrow got beat up a little bit against the Chiefs the other night, Sunday night. So like when you dropping all that money on them quarterbacks, if you don't have a lineman under contract, you kind of picking up not has-beens, but like you ain't gonna have that 4 or 5 great offensive lineman thing anymore.
So Kenny, I'm curious to know what you concern. What's your concerns with the Ravens, Kenny? I'm curious to know.
I'm always I'm partial to the big guys. So offense and defensive line. Now I'm impressed on the defensive side because Oweh is a guy that he struggled the first couple of years. He was expected to come in, and they made a big deal that he was a guy that didn't have a sack his last year at Penn State, and it was a wasted pick, But he showed he had some talent. He would get to the quarterback in the last couple of years. He was always a hair late, or he just wasn't making plays. But he had 2 sacks Sunday, You know what I'm saying? I think he forced the fumble in one of them, but they recovered it. So I'm impressed with him and the other guy that was injured that came from Michigan, Ajabo.
Yeah.
So on the ends, you know, because I was kind of I didn't like to see Clowney leave. I like what Clowney brought to the team last year, so I was kind of mad that they didn't re him up. But I guess, you know, it's the numbers game. You can't pay everybody. You know what I'm saying? And they went with the young guys, the young draft picks on the ends, and then the big fella in the middle, Matabuke, who changed his first name. I'm blanking on what it got an African name. Namdi?
I think it's Namdi.
Yeah. So, but you know, he's a horse in the middle. So I like the defensive line is okay.
The defense is solid.
Yeah, defensive line is okay.
Oh, I got one question. One question, Melvin, and I want to hear from Kenny because I got to get ready to go. I want to hear your thoughts. Is our guy, the defensive back, getting old? Because he's looking like he's old. He's getting torched. He's getting torched.
Hey.
And it's really showing. It's really showing.
Football is a young man's game. He getting a little old and a step slow out there.
Yeah.
He getting torched week after week.
Yeah.
You know, if you beat me on a 5-yard out or even maybe a crossing pad, I'm gonna live with that. But he getting torched downfield.
Yeah. And it's tough to see that.
It's
tough to see that, man. You know, and we get partial to our guys, man. He was one. He was drafted here.
Yeah.
And we kind of seen his whole run here, but
ain't tough to see. I see it clearly.
I see it every time he takes his turn on. Hey, that's usually the first highlight you see from the other team.
You might remember Toast Patterson used to play for the Giants. Elvis Toast Patterson.
And Humphrey's got a big contract, don't he?
Well, he should be winding down though.
With Humphreys,
I don't think he read up a couple years ago.
Yeah, but he read up for some good money a couple years ago.
Yeah, he did.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, he deserved it. He
deserved the money, but it's time for him to have an office meeting. Like, listen, bro, we ain't gonna cut you, but you know that little young kid we got in the 3rd round 2 years ago. We got to give him a look.
Yeah. Well, what's going on with Wiggins? Is Wiggins? I haven't really seen him on the field too much.
Yeah.
Ain't he hurt?
I don't think he hurt.
I thought Wiggins was hurt.
He was dressed, wasn't he?
Crash.
Huh?
Yeah.
So I don't know how bad he was hurt, but they just said he wasn't hurt too bad. But he was in a car crash.
Oh.
Play this week, but I think they say he's gonna play next week. I think they need to call our boy, or maybe Justin Tucker need to lay off of the Royal Farms chicken a little bit.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Hey, you don't go at Justin like that.
Come on, Justin. The last couple years, man, Justin, man. I think he's like 1 for 7 beyond 50 yards.
Yeah, and he's usually automatic.
He used to be automatic, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said that when he kicked that 66-yard field goal and then hit the crossbar and went over, that was the actual apex of his career. Going forward, he really just needed to try to maintain as best possible. But the last couple of years, he's definitely fallen off.
Yeah. He's missed a lot of kicks.
Did y'all see at the end of the game Sunday where they showed, you know, Tucker was hitting 70 yards from this end in the pregame. I said, they better not line him up for nothing less than a 40-yard.
That's right.
He might be still messed up for when Kelsey threw his helmet in the playoff in practice before the playoff game last. He might be still a little shook.
Maybe. Hurt us. He hurt us when he missed that 56-yarder.
Yeah, that's how the game up.
Yeah, they went down and scored.
Yeah.
Speaking of, by the way, I want to get a shout out to Taylor Swift.
Oh goodness! Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh! Like not on this podcast.
Cheese is a Swiftie.
She's the most famous non-football player in the
NFL. Right.
And apparently Donald Trump hates her.
Right.
Hates her bad.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Glenny, I know you got to run. I know you got to run, brother, but I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations once again on your Hall of Fame induction, man.
Congratulations.
Anytime you want to come back, just let me know.
No, you need to come back more often. Stop the layoffs, man.
Hey,
Get it together,
I'm
man.
back now. I'm back
Yeah.
Tuesdays at 9. We back.
Hey, Glenny. Hey, Glenny.
Yeah.
So say that radio time slot one more time.
So WEA Radio 88.9 from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you're not in your car, you could just go on the website, weaa.org, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Wednesdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out, man. That's cool, man.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah, man.
Well,
so I appreciate it, guys. God bless y'all, man.
All right, Pete.
Yeah.
Many more. Hall of Famer. We got Hall of Famers on the show. You know what I'm saying? Hall of Famers, man. So, so what y'all think about this game Sunday? You know what I mean? What we looking to see Sunday against these Cowboys?
The Ravens have a defense, and that's always going to help. And even though the offense is unpredictable, they still can make it happen when they have to. So I'm not even the biggest Ravens fan, but I still think they're going to be okay in the long run.
Yeah. So I know it's going to be a hell of a party out there. I know a lot of people from Baltimore going out to Dallas this weekend.
I went out to Dallas and watched them play. I guess it must have been about 7-8 years ago. And I get down there because one of my buddies I played ball with in college lived there. I go into the 7-Eleven, and this is a real story. I go in the store. My brother Sean and Joe Pat is in the store. I didn't even know they was even going down there that day.
That's crazy.
You know how you look, and I'm like, damn, them two look familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Sean, and I had no idea they were going there or anything.
Right. That's
Mhm.
crazy, man.
Yeah, well, Baltimore will definitely be representing.
And Baltimore will be everywhere the Ravens play.
Yeah, they definitely travel well.
Getting drunk if they win and ready to fight when they lose.
Yeah. I think I want to go to that Rams game when they play them.
Yeah.
Where is that? Where they playing the Rams at?
LA.
Well, you talking about the Cowboys?
I'm sorry, Chargers. I'm sorry. Talking about the Chargers.
Okay, Chargers. Okay, yeah. That's it. I'm looking at the schedule. That's a Monday night game too.
Yeah.
November 25th.
I think the Ravens are going to be okay in the long run, though.
Yeah.
I'm not shook up by the first two games.
I mean, like you said, they was in both games. You know, it wasn't like they got winning games.
They could have won either one.
Yeah. So
now, I don't want to say that when they 0-4, like they could have won all four of them.
Yeah. No, because you remember last year they were like 4-1. People talking about they could have been 0-5.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at them with around 4 or 5 games in, then you'll have a real good picture of what you got on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
I think y'all made a real good point though about playing a little bit in the preseason and getting them to get some reps together. I think they still a little snake bitten from when all them guys got hurt that one preseason.
Yeah.
All them Achilles injuries. I
don't think they want to play nobody.
Yeah, I think they snake bitten a little bit. But I think, when you looked at the schedule and you knew you were going to be playing the Chiefs first, it would have been good to get a little bit of reps.
Yeah.
And then when you think about some of the, like I always say, it's a game of inches, and you look at some of the things that was taking place in the game, and Harbaugh always has kind of struggled to handle timeouts and clock management down the stretch. He challenged some plays, man, that was really not worth challenging. And both times that he did that, the timeouts hurt them going down the end of the first half when they were scrambling to trying to get a touchdown. They was lacking one of those timeouts, so they had to settle for a field goal. And then down the stretch when they was trying to stop the clock with the when Raiders had the ball, they had lost another timeout based on a challenge. So those kind of things, man, the punter, Stout, he had a 20-yard punt down the stretch. I mean, things like that, man, can't happen. And Bateman, man, the ball hit him right in his hands. That turned into a pick. And
Bateman he's been there long. Same way we say we give him 4 games to see how they do. We didn't get this guy, 3-4 years, and you literally get the same thing. At some point, all right, we placed round. He got a lot of money. It's just time to move on from that.
Do y'all think that Mark Andrews is up to snuff? I mean,
my opinion is you got a better tight end than Likely. This business now.
I think so. I like Likely. I like Likely a little better.
Likely need to just play more. I mean, and everybody has their time. And like I say, football's a young man's game. Likely is better than Andrews right now.
I think so. I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that same thing. I had a conversation with somebody the other day about that too.
When you watch him play, there's no question who's better right now.
And you know it's a numbers game. So Andrews at the end of the year, he gonna be expendable.
He's gone. It's either cut or trade, but you can't keep dumping all that money into him. Likely is a lot better right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, and another thing, man, I know that in the off season when they I thought that if they had gotten Henry last year at the trade deadline, it would have changed the outcome of the Kansas City game and the championship if they had him.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't all that hyped on them getting Derrick Henry at this stage of his career.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't either.
I liked the boy out there in San Diego right now. Well, Los Angeles
Chargers running for 100 a week.
Dobbins and Gus Edwards. So
I wish they'd have emptied the bank on Saquon. He was available.
Yeah.
If you had emptied the bank on Saquon, you're just good to go.
I agree. I agree with that.
Speaking of Saquon, how silly did the Giants look letting him get into the division?
Every time Daniel Jones take a snap, you realize how silly they are to let him go.
Wrong move, man. Wrong move.
He's a really good player, man.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm being a former running back, I critique him, and Saquon is really, really good. He's a 230-pound guy with 180-pound movement. You don't find that too often.
And I was fascinated because I was kind of half watching last night because I was trying to do a little studying. But I tell you, him and Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson,
nice. They're both of them, man. I thought they're really good running backs, and they're both what I'm impressed with. And you guys probably agree, they're both three down running backs. You don't need to bring them out of the game, not unless you're getting a rest, but they can catch it out of the backfield, and I think that's impressive.
And taking that consideration, Saquon's about 25 pounds heavier than Robinson. When healthy, I've said it for years, when healthy, he's by far the most talented running back in the NFL.
Yeah,
when he's healthy.
Yeah, he's really talented, yeah. And his legs are strong, man.
People tend to like McCaffrey. I think he's a little overrated, and take that how you want. But is he any better than Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, I would pick.
If you put Alvin Kamara on the 49ers, what results would you get?
Nah, I would still go McCaffrey. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Kamara had 4 touchdowns this week.
But if you look at their statistics, Alvin Kamara's yards per carry is higher. His yards per reception is higher. He's been hurt and missed some games, but statistically, not overall statistics, he tends to does everything better than Christian McCaffrey. Christian gets a lot of pub because of what team he's on and other reasons. But is he really better than Alvin Kamara? No.
We have to pull up the stats. Kenny, you ain't got no stat man on this show.
I had to fire him.
Before Kamara got hurt, he was annually the leader in all-purpose yards until he got hurt like 2 years ago. Now he looks like he's back to form.
Yeah, he looks good, man. Yeah, he looks good.
I like Christian McCaffrey. I'm trying to be politically correct.
Oh, it's sad, man.
We love Larry Bird.
So wait, but hold on. Chris Webber, time out.
We love Larry Bird. And I'm going to say this. We love Christian McCaffrey.
Hold on, I'm about to mute my... All right, I'm back.
Okay, you back. All right. So we're going to just let that one ride out there on the world.
Yeah. Wow.
As they say, if you know, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
But I do like him. Don't misquote me. But I think he gets a lot of extra press because of the position he plays.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Eminem.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, well, yeah. Like I said, we love Larry Bird.
I'm back.
Okay. Yes. All right. So it seems like we have a consensus on him.
Right. Wow.
But,
hey, nobody running bringing the heat tonight, man.
Yeah. Hey, if if Kristen McCaffrey was from Turner Station, would he really be getting all that breath?
Oh man!
Turn your mic off again and say what you got to say.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I'd have had my fun with that one.
Yeah, Doctor brought the heat tonight, man.
Yeah, he ain't from Turner, he's from Edgemere.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop. I might mess around. Somebody see me be in the office tomorrow talking about me.
No, that is such a legit comment, though. That last one.
Yeah,
it's a difference.
Yeah. So, but I will say I like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You still gonna get the cold shoulder, even though you like him.
Yeah. If you had him and Alvin Kamara in the same room, I'd take Alvin Kamara. If you had him and Saquon Barkley in the same room, I'd take Saquon.
Oh, wow.
Not even it wouldn't be a second discussion. What would Saquon do on San Fran?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Saquon is dual purpose, all purpose on the Giants and on the Eagles. Yes. Now put him on that team with what they got: all pro tackle, all pro guard, all pro tight end, 2 all pro wide receivers, all pro quarterback, and the running back. Saquon had Daniel Jones. He's definitely from Old Mill.
And look, and they paid Daniel Jones, didn't they?
Yeah. Paycheck you can't get back.
Yeah.
That's like going in there and buy you the Reese cups and then melt it to the paper and you can't even eat it, right?
Yeah. Facts.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I'm just in the mood tonight.
No, man. I respect it. I respect it.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, you've been holding on to this.
I've been trying to, because we had this conversation in the gym all the time about this particular topic.
Man.
And he ain't even brought up Dion yet. You know he gonna get smoking on that.
I was headed that way. I'm headed that way.
Yeah, I'll be in Boulder Saturday.
Oh, you going? Okay.
Yeah, they play Baylor. They play next week, and I think I got tickets the week after to go down to Central Florida and Orlando.
And like I told Melvin, on the comment the other day, him more than anybody I know, you invested because you go to the game.
He does.
You went
and
to
look,
the games at Jackson
you know what's
State?
crazy? Kenny, he was going to Jackson State.
I was at Jackson State game.
Yeah, I remember.
And that's why. That's why when, I know we jumping a little bit ahead, but that's what offends me the most when people talk about Shador. Because all I'll say to you, and if I just said these numbers, and this is a career numbers in college, 12,000 yards passing, 100, almost 118 in touchdown, 16 interceptions. Don't put a name on it with a 76% completion percentage. Don't put no name on it. What would you think of that quarterback?
You're pretty damn good.
First round
draft pick, Heisman Trophy, everything else. And the last 2 years, last year, we forget what he had, 32 and 3 touchdown interceptions on that horrible offensive line.
Terrible line.
Put Carson Beck or Quinn Ewers, one of them guys on Colorado. Do you think you would get the same result? But then if you flip it, how good would Georgia be with Shador Sanders? How good would Texas be with Shador Sanders?
With them numbers, I thought you might have been talking about Cam Ward.
Right, but this is exactly. So this is when people say he, as a football player, this is the one criticism. He holds on to the ball too long. Yeah. 2 things happen when you hold on to the ball too long. There's either interception or incompletion. Mm-hmm. Either you throwing the ball behind him or you throwing it to somebody else. And he does not have bad statistics in either one of those numbers. Last year, he had an average of 2.8 seconds to throw the ball. That's like snapping it coming. And you're still completing 70% of your balls, and you still got 10-1 touchdown interception ratio. But his last name is Sanders. A lot of people don't like his swagger. I don't care about none of that long as you can play. And I can go on for them about Colorado. I think they give Dion unfair expectations. Like they were 1-11 2 years ago, giving up 30+ points a game. Last year, although they lost 8 games, they lost 7 to top 25 teams, and they lost all by a touchdown or less. So we have to take in the whole picture because a lot of time the media say, "Oh, he's struggling." Most places would give you a raise, which he got, when you make that kind of turnaround in 1 year. Do I think they're going to win the national championship or anything like that this year? No, they're still building quality depth. Do I think they're a lot better this year than they were last year? Yes, they got more depth and better players. Last year in the transfer report, he took just players who were available. This year he was able to pick out players that was players somewhere else. So I just think he get a bad rep, and Shador gets the worst rep at all because a lot of them people who, well, shit, I said it once. Those who love Larry Bird does not like him. Turn your mic off, Chief. And when you look at the criticism of him, this dude is on Times Square. They only put you there if you're worth something.
Yeah.
And I don't personally don't have a problem with cockiness. If you can play and back it up, whatever. And when you can go out there and throw for 300 or 400 yards every week on a really poor team, somebody can play. So I just think he's the most unfairly criticized player in college football.
I mean, he's Deion's son, and you know how they feel about Deion.
Right.
Deion say what he feel. He put it out there. A lot of people had a problem with the way he went to Colorado and that opening little talk he gave the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a lot of people upset with that. He was telling them, look, hey.
And he only said what every other coach in America do.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama lost 49 players last year when Nick Saban retired. Nobody said a word about it. The new coach came in and Alabama brought in like 31 transfers. Michigan, when they won the national championship last year, had 21 transfers on that team.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they quick to jump to Deion. I simply said Colorado had. They said, 40 players left this year. 39 left Alabama. And he must be a decent evaluator of talent because last year all those players left. None of them start at a Division I level. Mm-hmm. Not one of them.
I think that's the bigger thing when people look at the numbers of leaving. But what are those guys that left? What are they doing?
None of them start at a Power 5 school. So first of all, it tells me whoever was there before Deion was a poor evaluator of talent. When you got a Power 5 team with 100 players and they cannot play anywhere else, some of them with the lower tier schools are not playing.
Right.
So like that's the part to get me. Like ultimately, he's going to be judged by wins and losses. But I think like any other guy who's rebuilding, he deserved the respect to rebuild just like anybody else. If he won the national championship this year, they'd say, he only won because he played in the Big 12. That's the way they do him. Yeah. They I hear people talking about Travis Hunter, like he wouldn't do that anywhere else. You see that boy play football and the stuff he do, it would happen no matter which football field he was on.
Yeah. And
that Colorado group and they just they don't like Deion. And you know how when we were younger, they didn't like Deion. Mm-hmm. Ever since he pulled the water on that, was it Tim? They went from dislike to hate at that point.
Tim McCall.
And they put it on, Tim McCall. And they put it on his son. Like those who do not like Deion does not like Shador.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Here's the thing, fellas.
Tell me what you say.
See, here's the thing. And first of all, Doc, you make some great points and you back it up with statistics that are accurate. But here's a few things I got with Deion. Number one, now, I was the biggest Deion fan ever. I mean, the jerseys, the Nikes, everything. But I think, and it's just my personal observation, and I said this on a show 3 years ago when he was at Jackson State. Deion, to me, in my opinion, in this state of his life, he plays the victim too much for me now. I'm going to tell you why. Mm-hmm. Every time they have a win or preseason, even at Jackson State, he said, okay, we coming, which everybody does. You got confidence in you. But what I don't like is when you go into a particular situation where you say you have a game and you don't play well, to me, he sits up there and then he'll be in front of the camera and has reporters, and he'll undoubtedly every single time if a reporter asks him a question they may ask anybody else, to me, he pulls the race card too much. Too much. That's just my opinion. I
would just simply say the questions they ask him sometimes, do they ever ask some of the white coaches? No. I think they do. I'm telling you that. Have you ever seen a reporter ask Nick Saban about his family?
Well, I don't know what question you're pertaining to. You
They,
might have
they
to refresh.
when they talk about like when they got the way they attack Shador, they attack Carr. I don't think he plays a victim because I think when you ask him questions, he does, and he doesn't point blame on the team. He'll like, my fault, team lost, we got our butts kicked, da 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 da.
Mhm.
But if you can't look at the way he's treated by the media and say it's not bias, it leaves me lost, because if he has to respond to the media that way, like I just watched the interview, the tone of the questions are not the tone of the questions you'll see directed at Nick Saban or Dabo Sweeney. So, and
I
that's
think
my
some
only
of them
point.
are biased, but you got to admit, as far as any coach in America, I see Dion on TV 100 times more than I see any other coach in America.
Is that his fault that the media comes
No,
to
it's
him?
great. No, they supposed to, because number one, he
It's
moves the
Deion
needle.
Sanders.
He moves the needle. But I just think, and here's another thing, and I don't want to keep harping on that, but I think his favoritism, which I guess for good or bad, to his sons and Travis is overwhelming to a
Just
point
give me an
where it's
example of
selfishness.
favoritism.
All right, for example, this last game, and when I say favoritism, I'm talking about selfishness, and to where he wants to put Travis, Shador, and Shiloh on a pedestal. They were up 18, 20 points with a minute left last game.
Right.
He makes a point to keep his quarterback out there in the game.
I have no problem with that.
But see, I do.
It wasn't for stats. He was trying to humiliate that coach. Now go back on the internet and look what the coaches said. That's the same coach that said something about Deion's mother last year. That's the same coach.
I get that.
It was personal. So I think he was just trying to run the score up, because if you look at the tape, none of those balls that they with that minute left, none of them was to Travis. It was to number 4.
Here's the thing, and he said it right after the game. He said, I put him in the game because I wanted to make sure he got 100 yards for the 4th straight game.
But that happens. When I was in college, if I had 96 yards or something, the coach would be like, get close to 100, I'll give you a carry to try to get you there. That happens in the NFL. That doesn't bother me, because my issue is when we playing ball, it's your job to stop me and my job to stop you. I don't really care.
That's glaring favoritism, man.
It's not favoritism. Some say Shiloh. Let's take Shiloh, who's not as a big a star as Shador. Oh, it's favoritism. His son's starting at safety. People forget Shiloh played and started at South Carolina in the SEC before he transferred to Jackson State with his father. He was all Pac-12 last year, which was picked by coaches, not by his father.
Well, so, yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, but even like I don't think he thinks in things like stare pat. He said, like what he said, last week he said, if I knew Jimmy Horn had 198, if somebody would have told me, I would have put him in the game to get a catch to get over 200. That's common coaching now. The thing is that as a player, coaches say this all the time. Deion just says it out in the public. So what he do is no different than other coaches. Deion just say it. I'd rather know who you are than not know who you are. And like I don't think he showed. If people say all he do is talk about his son, well, you got a son that's going to be a 1st round pick. If that wasn't your son, you'd still be saying the same thing about him.
Well, see, here's the thing, and that's another thing. To me, he's not a 1st round pick.
Tell me why not?
Not a first one. I just don't. I think I said it on. We were texting the other night. I got 5 quarterbacks right now. First of all, if I got a pick in the 1st round, I'm not picking him as my quarterback. If I'm looking at all the quarterbacks in the league right now, if you say 2nd round, if you look at the NFL right now,
he would have been the 3rd quarterback taken. So they say if he came out last year.
No, shoot, they crazy. I wouldn't have picked him.
He was rated above Bo Nix, but you're giving me reasons. Let's do on his play on the field. I don't, because the NFL don't care about personality. Or a lot of guys wouldn't get drafted.
I'm past that. What I'm saying is, I do not think, and this is going back to Jackson State because it's on the show. I felt the same way. I just don't think he's a 1st rounder. I really don't.
Just give me an example about his play that says he's not a 1st rounder.
Well, you brought it up earlier, and we're gonna differ with this the whole holding the ball situation. Now, number one, I'm a firm believer in what Tom Brady says about him.
Tom Brady loves him.
Yeah, he does. But this is what his exact words were. He would be so much better if he focused more on his craft instead of the outside circle.
Now think of this. Not one person, not one player or coach, even the ones who've left, have never said anything about his work ethic. Everybody's been associated with him said he's a football guy.
I agree with that.
One thing that I think has prepped him for the NFL, all of this notoriety and all this money. So when he do go, that's not going to be a new phenomenon. Because some kids, that's a new phenomenon. When it comes to playing football, and if it wasn't Deion's son, I've just watched him play in person probably 15 times.
Right.
The kid can flat out throw a football. When you watch the games, there's not a throw he can't make.
There's no way. There's no way on this God's green earth am I picking him in my first round.
But you got to say something about it. If you put him, let's do this. Let's take this out. If you put Georgia's quarterback or Texas quarterback, any of the ones you just named, and put him on that exact offense with that exact same offensive line, Shador definitely reads the defense. But one of his things I think he does too much, but it's not a negative. He extends a lot of plays because he's on the run because of the poor offensive line play, which can result in having the ball a little too.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I agree with that, and I'm going to tell you why. And this is another reason. Now, this goes back to deal because it'll go back and forth. Because I don't think, in my opinion, he checks down enough to alleviate the rush. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you this. The whole offseason, Deion saying on radio and on TV, oh, man, I got him now, meaning he got an offensive line. He said the whole summer and the whole last fall, end of last winter. Oh, man, I got an offensive line. Then this season comes, you get all these people coming in from the portal, and then you have the same issue, and then you're running the same offense. So here's a
different offense. The offensive coordinator from last year is now the coach of San Diego State.
Look, we looking at the same plays from last year because I'm gonna tell you why. And I watched the game. I watched both of their games, and here's what happens. Undoubtedly, he'll go into the game. He said, all right, we're going to try to establish the run. The first 3 plays of every game, he will pass it. And then, so at Nebraska, for example, they're playing the game. They're getting constant rush on them. Now, one time in that game, the Deion or the offensive coordinator drop a screen or draw play to alleviate.
And then this is where my football side kick in. If you don't have time to let a play develop, you can't run anything. If the lineman can get to your quarterback before a screen or draw can set up, it's a negative play. I would simply say this. As bad as you would like to say he played against Nebraska, he completed 65% of his pass with 270-something yards. That's his bad game. That's his bad game.
Doc, you know as well as I do.
I'm simply saying that's his bad game.
No, well, here's the thing. He could have thrown for 180 yards or 150 yards. My point is, we all know the game of football. If you have me a quarterback that threw for 150 yards, but his intangibles helped me win that game, intangibles took them out of the game. Because he was locked in on Hunter many times. That's what I saw. I mean, I'm just
okay.
That's what I saw.
This will be a topic we'll go till next April. but I can tell you that's like you telling me as a running back. I go out there with the worst offensive team on a blocking team on the field every week, and I go out there and average 7 yards a carry. You're not going to be able to tell me I can't play. Even if Barry Sanders probably lost as many yards as he gained, but we knew one thing at the end of the day, when it all said and done, his input was going to be bigger than his negative. And I always tell people, honestly, between my two opinions, I like Emmitt Smith more than like Barry Sanders. But I'm not going to discredit it. He lost a lot. He gained a lot. When you watch Shador play, things that you can't deny, to have with a career completion percentage of over 70%. And everything, when I say intangibles, do you turn the ball over? You know that throw against Nebraska was his first ever pick 6? And he said, my bad, it was a rookie mistake I made. He's only thrown 16 interceptions in 4 years of college football. 8 of them came his rookie year at Jackson State. And he's thrown the ball 400 times a year.
I'm going to buy you a steak dinner.
I don't eat steak. You had to give me something chicken for chicken, but that's cool.
Yeah, here you go. That's 6
and since chicken
See, this is why this is what we doing here. You know, he got to flaunt the 6-pack, fellas. I mean, I get it.
And listen, if it's chicken, since it's cheaper, I want 2 portions of chicken and you got to get dessert.
I know that's right.
I like the kid only because I've seen him play so much. And I know the things that the NFL is going to look at. You cannot deny the boy is a top-tier playmaker as a quarterback. We've seen a lot come along, and I only think in the terms of when have you put his talent on Georgia when he does have 5 seconds to throw every play? When he has 2 or 3 receivers that's going to end up in the NFL. I think this year, though, Colorado got a couple of NFL-level receivers this year. That Webster's good. Horn.
Jimmy Horn is good, man.
Horn is good. I followed the other one. The one I want you to remember his name, Will Shepherd. He's the number 14 who had like 7 catches the other day. He was like all SEC twice at Vanderbilt. That boy can play. So I think they're gelling. Their offensive line kind of sort of like I think of the Ravens. They definitely look like the other day they kind of hit their mark. It's like we're getting better. But I still can't take away the fact that the dude he got over 1,000 yards throwing already in 3 games. He has 10 touchdowns and 1 interception in 3 games. This doesn't happen for a kid who can't play or who doesn't know how to read a defense.
Well, you're right about that. I mean, I'm not saying he can't play, but 2 things you brought up, which I really enjoy. Horn, number one, I love his backstory.
Play football,
but his father, being in prison, I love that story, man. And he just persevered. Number 2, I just don't like Deion's method of what he does, but as a person, see, I can differentiate the 2. As a person, he is a great human being. Don't get me wrong. As far as his coaching philosophy and what I feel he does, that's a whole nother thing. But as a father and as a person, dude is top notch.
I'll tell you something I'll partially agree with you on. Mm-hmm. One thing, I think he's been not lucky, but he's been blessed to have Shedeur, Travis, and some of these guys he brought with him from Jackson State because you brought first-round talent with you. I personally think they will be a better team and a better coach team when those mega stars are gone. Because right now, you can kind of know Travis is going to just outplay whoever's out there. Jimmy Horn's going to probably outrun whoever out there. I truly believe that he'll be a better coach, and they'll be better when Shedeur and Travis, that group is gone. I just was having this conversation with guys. I said, then he's going to be able to force. Honestly, if they're both first-round picks, you kind of walk on the field with a slight advantage from that perspective.
But I said this 2 years ago. He's not going to be there.
I don't think he's going away. Deion has said,
Deion going to stay there?
Yeah, Deion's exact words. He said this ever before he became the coach of Jackson State. He does not want to coach in the NFL. He said, "I can't."
I'm thinking he ain't going to coach at Colorado.
Deion is so egotistical in a sense of his personality. He absolutely want to make Colorado a contender. He's not a Deion, but you can look at him in any sport. Deion ain't a quitter. He's the most competitive guy. Oh, I think he'll be better when those guys leave. Now, one thing I don't agree with Deion, but I won't knock him is because I feel like us as black folks, you shouldn't be able to force to be change yourself because someone else don't agree with you. I don't like Deion's eccentricness all the time like he does it because it's almost like, we're not going to win 12 games. Nobody's going to go 12-0. When you kind of keep putting yourself on a limb, it makes those attack you a little bit more. I don't disagree with it because I feel like this. If most of the people I know or people I take care of, they need me outside of work, they probably wouldn't like me. Because I don't think changing yourself makes your situation better. And when you compromise yourself, you always have to stay at that compromised person. So I wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. Like put yourself the way he does. But I know that's Deion. And he's going to win his way. People don't like those people. The ones who love Larry Bird don't like the way he do stuff. They said recruiting the transfer portal is not going to be successful. But Michigan won a national championship with 20 of them. This year, they got like 6-7 teams in the top 20 that got 25 plus transfers. But 2 years ago, they said, no, can't nobody win that way. Nobody wants to say, and a good example the other way, look at Clemson football.
Look at Debo. I was going to say that.
He said he won't take a transfer. Debo ain't going to have no job at the end of this year.
Man, I'm telling you.
You think Clemson will keep him hanging around with these 6-win seasons?
I was going to mention him, man.
But the football is changing. Deion is saying, I'm teaching these guys how to monopolize the NIL. For them, the unfortunate part, the biggest NIL earner are the 2 guys he got playing for him, Shedeur and Travis. Yeah. So he's teaching all these other guys, let's get the money a part of the game. So they don't like that. Yeah. They don't like it at all. If it was Alabama's coach and they had Quinn Ewers make Arch Manning make $3 million a year and he set the bench there.
He sure did. Yeah.
So they don't have a problem with that. But you think they like seeing Travis and Shador and all them on the front of everything? Can't stand it. So I think Deion, and you can put it on record, I think the team, they'll be much more successful when Travis, Shador, and that group is gone. Because right now, I think this year they'll win about 6 games, maybe 7. They'll probably make a bowl because you still got some NFL players on that team. But when they're gone, it's going to force you to say coaching becomes a premium. I don't have the best 3 or 4 players on the planet anymore.
That was my biggest question too. Was would he be there once them boys are gone?
He said he wasn't. He had a good interview, and he said, "I'm a father. I'm not a son. I don't follow my sons anywhere. I prepare them for the future, but I don't follow them anywhere." And Deion has been saying this since day one. He doesn't want to coach in the NFL, and he's so you can just look at his ego. Could you imagine if he won a national championship at Colorado 3-4 years from now?
Nah, Doc, I think that Mayflower van gonna pull up when his sons leave, and he's gonna ride right back to Texas.
No, I think he's not that. Deion is the ultimate competitor. He's not going to turn down a challenge because honestly, he had the job opportunity. Was it Arkansas and Auburn? I wouldn't have took that 1-11 team in Colorado. You'd have to have a real ego to say I'm gonna take that job. I'd have probably stayed at Jackson State before I took that job. So I know his ego is he want to be successful. I think he's ego. He knows enough to win. I just think right now you got Shador and Travis and them guys. Like you came from Jackson State with two of the best players in the country. That doesn't happen nowhere else.
And you know what? I gotta admit, fellas, and you know what? A lot of this is because I'm such a big fan of his, but I gotta admit, and for right or wrong, it turned me off a couple years ago how he left Jackson State. I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about this particular business move. I was rooting for him. We talked about it on your show, Kenny, how, him being at a historically Black college, I wanted him to be there, be successful. I didn't want him to go. I was at the Southern game, the SWAC championship. When the game was over, we was at the restaurant eating when it was announced. I had just left that game. And, at the time, it was heartbreaking. Like, damn, Deion, like, damn. But in hindsight, how do you feel? You know what, Doc? I know he's doing great things in Colorado, and I follow his Instagram all the time because of the things he does off the field.
Right.
And helping people, which I say the dude is a wonderful man, but I don't know, sometimes leaving, them young brothers and sisters there, I don't know, a little part of me is just like, yo, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong for it.
I was hurt at first. And then when some of the things come out, like number one, he had, because they was only paying him like $300,000 a year, he was getting the attendance like sell the games out with X, Y, and Z. The reported sales of the games, I was at a couple of them, it's 60,000 in that Legion Field. Receipts come back to the school athletic department, 28,000, 30,000. A lot of people in that financial office got fired.
Oh yeah, I heard about
it. And then he spent his money, he gave his salary every year to upgrade the football stuff.
That's right.
And he said when he came there and he took a job. If he had stayed at Jackson State, this is my true honest opinion, Jackson State would probably be a power. They would have they'd have had a whole bunch of the same recruiters going to him in Colorado would have went to Jackson State. But would it have benefited HBCU football? No. No one else would be able to make the change with it. And the only prize would be whenever Jackson State would come play the other schools. And economically, it was a no-win for him in the long run. And I would say, well, people got mad at him, and I was mad. I was in the restaurant in Jackson, Mississippi when it was announced he was left. I was like heartbroken, like, man, I flew all the way down and watched these games, da-da-da-da-da-da. But the business of it is when you find out how much they didn't do for him, and then they didn't offer, and they couldn't offer competitive salary. Let's just be honest with that.
No.
But people miraculously, people ain't say no flack about FAMU's coach. He left FAMU to be a position coach at Duke.
Yeah.
Right.
But just to have that kind of cachet and as taking me back to being a young.
If it would have overall helped HBCU, I'd understand the point. But honestly, the only person that would have really benefited from him staying, Jackson State, because his goal was he wanted to move Jackson State up to Division I, which most HBCU schools can't follow that path because of either enrollment or stadium capacity.
Yeah.
So if he was still at Jackson State now, he'd have probably, what is this? This has been like year 4 or 5. He'd have probably had 4 or 5 SWAC titles. Jackson State would go every year, 13-1 or whatever, but it really wouldn't have made HBCU ball better. And that's the only thing I say in hindsight.
Yeah.
And look at when he left. I mean, none of the Jackson still got a following a little bit.
Yeah.
So and the first I was heartbroken because I was like, this is the move to go. And when Travis Hunter committed, I was like, yeah. But when it was over, I realized there's only one Deion Sanders. And
it just felt
Eddie
good
George,
to see him. Yeah. And like ESPN and Fox.
Eddie George is at Tennessee State.
Yeah.
And he's a Hall of Famer. Nobody pays attention to him.
Yeah.
There's only one Deion Sanders. That's like if Michael Jordan came around and decided he wanted to be the head coach at North Carolina Central, they would make an incredible uptake. Mm-hmm. But who else would make a benefit from it? Yeah. So like in hindsight, when I look at it now, I'm not as pissed off at the situation. And then when I found out how the money thing went, it's hard to say no to $30 million when somebody jerking you out of $200,000.
Facts.
Yeah.
And we.
I mean, to me, I think Deion he's a money guy. He's gonna chase that money regardless. He's not the guy that's gonna stick with Jackson State. It's just not in him. He's going.
And he never said it. He never said he was going to stay there.
He's not going to hang in there. He was using them as a stepping stone in the first place.
Then let's ask this: was he using them as a stepping stone, or did he take a job? If you go to your job and hypothetically you work as an administrative assistant, and you get all your experience in, and then somebody say, "All right, you got enough. I like what you do. Come up here and be the administrator." I'm not going to knock him for a choice of job because, like, honestly, we can all talk that crap. But would you stay somewhere where I can't even say he's making $300,000 because he was giving it back to the school, and somebody gonna give you $30 million?
I mean, I'm not mad at him for going to the next level, but I think he went into Jackson State knowing that he wasn't going to stay there.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
But do you know any coach
with one of these Power 5 schools? Deion has chased money his whole career.
Can we say chase money? Deion was an exceptional athlete who earned his money.
Even the way that he's coaching, the way he handled the media, he's straight egotistical.
I'm not saying he's not egotistical.
I'm not mad at him.
Are you saying? Did you say he chased?
Would probably do the same thing that Deion
do you say
does,
he chased money?
I know that when you're dealing with the condition of Black people and you're dealing with the condition of HBCUs and Black people, you going in there, you already know. I'm hearing complaints about the ticket money and this. So what I was hoping for is more coaches come. Ed Reed was ready to go.
Ed Reed would not have made the change. Ed Reed does not have the name.
And the condition that we're in, you have to almost look at like you raising folks from the dead. If you ain't got that mentality to stick in there, I understand it. Deion ain't got that kind of mentality.
But Deion came into Jackson State. They came after him asking, did he want to coach? He said yes. Deion signed a 3-year contract with Colorado, 4-year with Colorado. He did. I mean, not Colorado, Jackson State. He never said, when they interviewed him on 2020, that first year, and they asked him if a bigger offer come, he said, I would have to consider it because it would make the lives of my coaches and their families better. I can't say Deion chased money because when Deion was in the NFL, if you're the best player in the NFL, just like today, you go to who's going to give you the money. If the Ravens wouldn't give Lamar Jackson $250 and somebody else would you call him a money chaser or you taking a job that's paying you for your value?
You going for the money.
Let's talk about Ed Reed. Ed Reed wouldn't have made the change at Bethune-Cookman that Deion Sanders made because Deion Sanders' name brought game day there 2-3 times. He had his name. There's only one of him. Michael Jordan might be able to do a similar thing with basketball. So we got to remember the iconicness of him is what drew all of his attention. He would have changed Jackson State. That would have been it. And that's the misconception. He would have changed all of HBCU.
Well, I disagree with that. I think that he would have definitely changed Jackson State, but I know Ed Reed would have improved the school he went to. It wouldn't have been a Deion thing because there's only one Deion. Nobody going to improve it like Deion, but I think other coaches, other prominent players would have started to gravitate towards coaching at HBCUs. And gradually, I think he could have lifted HBCUs.
So where would your ownership be?
Deion Sanders is major. That dude is major, man.
He's as big as you get for football.
And what he can do, the guy is so major that him lifting Jackson State, he would have lifted HBCUs. I think other people would have came to coach, and I'm not mad at him because I'm gonna tell you, if I'm in his shoes too, I don't know what I would have done.
Let me ask you this.
I don't know.
So if you're gonna say that, so
impressive.
Why no one makes Jackson State take the ownership of the fact they were not paying him like they were supposed to? Why did it take him to after he, well, not after, but near the end of that last year, he found out they were misappropriating the funds that were supposed to go to him? So do we just ignore that? If you were working for me and I told you I was going to pay you $100 an hour and you get 20% commission on this, that, and the third, and you find out I'm giving you the $100 an hour, but I didn't give you anything to what I said what was in contract. So I'm saying, if you're going to call it a money grab, let's hold the ownership in reverse. I would feel pretty pissed off if I found out you was ripping me off out of money. And a lot of people here's
a strange thing.
I know he don't need the money, but it's not about need. I'm not going to go to work one day on this earth. I don't need to go to work tomorrow because I don't need the money. I ain't walking in there for free.
Yeah. I think it's and I don't know, I don't want to speak for Dean, but I just think it's sometimes what rubs people the wrong way with Deion is the hypocritical nature. And Keon brought it up on there when he said God sent him to JSU, but he took the money to leave the spot and, for this money in the spotlight. I don't blame him for getting the money. It's just some things. Okay, you leaving after the game. You next thing you know, 3 hours later, you're on a private jet in Colorado.
That happens in coaching.
It does. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, to me, Doc, and again, I could be wrong. I'm no expert, but to me, it happens in coaching. But a certain aspect, and as a brother and as a black man, I think he would have been, to me, he's held to a higher standard. And I'm thinking, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong though.
I don't feel like I hold no man.
You're doing that to a historically black college. Even if you were to leave, have some decorum in how you leave. I'm not saying it's wrong.
So I simply say that if you're going to say that, where was the decorum of hiding funds from him?
No, that was totally wrong.
Now remember, he found all of this stuff out prior to his leaving for Colorado.
Right.
So we can't say that. I don't speak for neither party, but I know there's bad blood on both sides. Right. But one thing I'll say is Deion never said he was coming there forever. And if God tells me my first degree is nutrition, I could say, well, I did that for years. And my later calling was somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I can't knock a man for his own personal decisions. Neither can I ever judge a man I don't know. We all have public opinions on how we see each other, how you see the other person. I can tell from his kids and stuff, though, he's a pretty damn good father.
Oh, absolutely.
I can tell by the players who leave comments, even at Jackson State, they all love him to death to this day and still communicate with him. So he's making an impact on black lives. Colorado's black enrollment has went up 70% since we've been there.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
I think we all, and I think all of us here, we definitely love the guy and we respect the guy. We just talking about some nuances of him leaving and going there and this and that.
I agree.
I'm not faulting him for that. But I'll say this, what was Deion's hit song? It must be the what? It must be the money, right? Do you know what Deion's
Cheese, stop that dance.
you know what his autobiography was named?
Yeah.
Power, Money, and Sex. That's the name of the book he wrote.
And that was he wrote that book. Now, what does he say? Listen what he said.
He loves attention, and that's who Deion is.
Now, remember he said, now talk about that book. Deion is a big avid speaker of the sinful life he led in his younger years, which is probably no different than any of us would have lived with $10, $20 million at 22, 23, 24 years old. I did enough crazy shit and I ain't have $10. Ain't no telling what I'd have did if I'd had $20 or $30 million. I'm not mad at him. I don't look at it as a money grab. He made a better situation for his life, and we can't judge another man for the decision they make for their life.
No, I'm not. It's no judgment. It's not a judgment. Yeah, it's not a judgment at all. It's just observation and opinion. And I think Deion chased that money. And I'm like Cheese, and I think I've even heard Kenny say that when his boys are gone from Colorado, and one of these other big schools drop some money in his face.
Oh, he ghosts, man.
He's gone.
I simply no. This is what Colorado was proactive. They didn't already gave him a raise and let them make a bowl game or something this year. They gonna put him up there because if he goes anywhere, it's gonna have the same effect. Because Deion has a 100% attention. 50% of the world love him, and 50% of the world hate him, and 100% turn on the TV to watch him.
Well, Colorado better keep that money straight because if somebody offer him more,
he gone.
But this is what I'm gonna say. It's business and it's work first. So if that was to happen, I'm not gonna blame him no more than I blame him for leaving Jackson State.
No, I'm not. And I'm not.
I think we do agree on one thing, all four of us. He's egotistical as hell.
Yeah, we know that.
That's why I feel like he's too egotistical to walk away from an unfinished job in Colorado. He's gonna win before he leaves there.
That's what made him great.
I agree. And I think he'll leave Colorado after he start winning. If he go in and get a couple years of winning 9-10 games, he's gonna leave. But then he can say, I fixed that broken program. He's not gonna leave after a 4-8 or 5-5 year.
Well, I can tell you this. If I'm at one of them other big universities and I see my team slipping a little bit, I'm throwing some money at Deion to get him to come to my school, period. I'm going to throw some money at him.
I think he will go.
Money I'm offering, or you gonna keep that Colorado money?
Yeah.
Which one you taking?
Yeah. Look,
Hey, Kenny, he got me in a little bit of a noose right now. I'm trying to get out of it.
You offer Shador 2 more years of eligibility. He going wherever Shador going.
I just think the only thing we differ. I do agree. I think he will leave, but I think he's so egotistical and has sold himself in so deep. He's gonna win at Colorado because he don't want no naysayers. But I can tell you this: if they win 9, say they just luck up and win 9 games this year, and next year they 9-10 games, the top 20 team, he is gone as yesterday.
Yeah. He's already on his way to winning.
Yeah,
already on his way.
I don't know.
So as we transition, I'm gonna transition because we ain't gonna be here much longer.
Yeah.
What was the name of that book Deion wrote?
I'm not repeating it. See, I told you this thing got me in a noose right now, but I'm gonna come out of it.
What was the name of the book?
Power, Money, and Sex.
The Lord told him to write that book.
Yeah.
And sex.
And look, and in the book, you know who the forward was by, right? Who wrote the forward? T.D. Jakes.
T.D. Jakes. I know that part.
First of all,
what are you talking about? Getting swallowed up?
Hey, wait, yeah. First of all, he better. That was a word.
He need to call his boy. Hey, he need to call his boy Diddy and make sure stuff is straight.
Man, yeah. No wonder I can't get no Vaseline nowhere. No.
Boy got 1,000 bottles, and I'm right here ashy as hell.
I took the baby over everything.
Pause. Hey, let's not go. Hey, I'm
walking around looking like I'm dancing a flower.
Hey, Dean, you just started some trouble there. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Oh my goodness.
But I do agree with you, though. I think the only difference I say is he's going to leave, but I don't. He's so egotistical. He's not going to leave till he wins. Because if he leave and no matter how much money they put out there, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you lost to Colorado," and we know his ego is bigger than the state of Maryland.
I agree with that.
And I also agree with Cheese. The one thing I don't think you should ever change yourself for anybody, but I think his personality does open the door for when something doesn't go right.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, but I'm still the person I am, and as a black man, I ain't never changing myself for nobody. Take me as I am, or walk your way past. Deion is that person. So with him being that person, you're gonna get the unnecessary criticism, and you can get a lot of the false accusation because of who you are.
And regardless, man, he still got his back.
Yeah,
we got Doc's back.
Well, speaking of freaks,
hey. That's a wild boy you about to talk about. Hey,
Michelle.
Hey, yeah, that's a big old country boy, crazy man. But let me ask y'all this question: do you think it was set up, or it happened by just like he said?
Well,
I don't know, because he sells them choose things, right? Them enhancement things, or
Yeah.
I can't log in without hitting some buttons.
Yeah, you got to do it. You can't just throw your phone and you're gonna go
And it
live.
rub against the blanket, and all of a sudden you got some cheeks clapping going on.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I ain't mad at him either way.
I ain't mad at him. You know.
My only issue is, I mean, it is what it's no need of backing away from it. I'm glad he came out and said, no, it wasn't a hacker and stuff. But it does a little suspicion. Like, if I was trying to record myself on live, I still got to go through some things of clicking my social media button on. I still got to go through things, click the video, or click the voice thing. Now, some fools got out there got the automatic picture upload and other stuff on their phone, which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
But
here's what I think. I'm going to tell you, and I don't know if you guys agree. Here's what I think the scenario is. I think he meant to video with the sound for one reason only, just because you're Shannon Sharpe. And I think did that. Mm-hmm.
I think part of it is too is the dispel, because a lot of people be talking about Lil Shay Shay and be trying to make insinuations. So I feel like that's why, because like right now, if I got off this line, I got to hit a couple buttons to get back on this line.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know how to kill these rumors. Let them hear me clap some cheeks a little bit, and we ain't no football game and ain't no touchdown.
Yeah.
Look, man. So I think that's to me, I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's the those rumors, people talking stuff about him, about his name is his show Shay Shay.
Yep. Dean, you're absolutely right. And how do you kill them rumors?
Look, them glasses and stuff he be wearing and stuff. I remember when Magic Johnson came down with AIDS, people were starting to throw the gay thing at Magic, and Magic was on national TV talking about, I had 6 women at one time
in a hotel one night.
Yeah, that's the most I had at one time. Yeah. And so to try to get that stigma off of you, you got to go kind of heavy, and you see how big Shannon Sharpe is, right?
6'3", 240 with all them tight clothes on. People was he dressing like them 150-pound rappers.
Shay Shay would get it in.
Hey, Shay Shay say, I'm not gonna make y'all start calling me.
I looked in the glasses, Kenny.
Listen. Hey, he got that little country accent on. He like, I'm gonna show you something. And y'all can start calling me Shannon again. He
lost the list that night. He wasn't listening at all. What he was doing.
Shannon is a wild dude. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, can I ask you guys a serious question? And it's not really serious. Why is it that if you got brothers or whatever, and they really don't talk about their girlfriends or ladies or whatever, it be automatically, and it seems like it's only in the black population, where they automatically say the dude is gay.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. The dude, a private dude.
If any black dude make anything about their life private, the first thing that come out their mouth is, oh, he must be gay. If you go to the gym and you lift weights, but you don't put your girlfriend, all them big guys gay. It's true. And I agree with you 1,000%. But if you get on there and show your girlfriend and they say, oh, he must be a hoe, he a dog, he this. But if you don't show nothing about your relationship life, he must be gay. I thought he was gay. And the bigger you are, the gayer you are.
And I never played into that because I'm taking
me neither.
He's just a man. I mean, he living his life.
And he's a celebrity, and sometimes when you're a celebrity and 50% of your followers women, you don't want to say you got a girlfriend because you lose your following.
Yeah,
true.
Either way, Shannon put the claps on her. Shay Shay is now worldwide.
Y'all know I'm a John Thompson guy. He used to say, when they can't find out nothing real about you, they start making shit up.
They start making shit.
That's 1,000 put. That's best quote of the night.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
And what do you know about Shannon? Like, if you didn't know from recently, you didn't know he had kids. You didn't know he was once divorced. You didn't know none of that stuff. Yeah. So what is he doing if he ain't got no wife? What if he ain't got no kids? Shay Shay was out there clapping cheeks, and y'all just didn't know about it.
And that's why I like his show, because he'll talk about some of the old stories, and I enjoy listening because
like when he got his watch, he left his watch at the girl house, and the dude had the AK there.
Great story.
Hilarious.
And if he is gay, so what?
So what?
Right.
Because it's also our community, and again with black men, I feel like our community wait to kick you down. They just wait till they got one thing. Like Shannon, remember the one little outfit he had when he was getting out the truck and his legs was kind of twisted a little bit? Man, the dude is a little bit knock-kneed pigeon-toed. If you stand up, it's going to be a funny look.
And he had hip surgery.
And had hip and knee surgery. But our community wait for that one still stand and say, oh, he gay.
Nice.
And you can think about, we can name any black male that hasn't talked about their masculinity. They didn't call them gay.
I mean,
I bet you they won't step to him,
they
though.
gonna call you gay.
I bet you they won't.
No, they won't.
Coming at you with the gay thing.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was gay.
Yeah.
Gay.
Got kids, and Michael Jackson got kids and smashed everything that looked just like him, but they still called him gay.
They don't call him gay. Everybody, you get some
Prince.
The gay
Even
word,
they
that means you made
Either
it.
they gay or they don't like black women.
Like Prince, they call Prince gay, and all of us will take the women Princeton had.
Facts. Yeah.
You can send them over right now after they left Prince's house. I'm good with it.
I'm over Lake Minnetonka right now looking for Avalonian.
I saw you, Dave. Send them over to Lake Minnetonka on the purple motorcycle.
Oh man, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Then get mad and smash up the house on you.
Oh
But
man.
you know, Shannon Sharpe, man, is big time, man. His
Hey.
shit huge, man.
Shannon made a real nice transformation from being a football star to a podcast star. Folks, I got to get ready to bounce out of here. It's great as all time. And I'm going to log in with you guys again next Tuesday. We're going to make this fun every week.
Appreciate you, Doc.
All right, guys. Take it easy. All right.
Yeah, man. Shannon doing it, man. Shannon doing big things, man. And he always had a lot of mouth.
Always. Club Shay
Always
Shay.
a great talker. Yeah.
But I mean, and truth be told, the athletes are killing it in the podcast game right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Really, I watch a lot of the athletes because it's the reason why I like John Thompson's show on the radio, other than the other shows that was coming on, because he was a guy that was hands on. He was in it, and he was able to get guests that other people couldn't get, and he was able to get stories that the other guys just wasn't going to get. They was going to get real straight. They was going to get real straight and narrow interviews.
Yeah,
where these guys feel comfortable talking to each other, and they sharing stories and they talking, and you know what I'm saying. It's just like we in the locker room with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's you know, and I see the media types. You know what I'm saying? People that have media degrees and you know, went to school to be in media and all that stuff, and they kind of intimidated. Because these guys, especially when Shannon, when he had the viral interview with Cat Williams, and you got media people saying, well, you know, why did he follow that question up with this question? That's not what he's there for. He basically saying, listen, what do he call himself? A conversationalist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a conversationalist. And that's basically what we doing. We come over here, we chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? None of us have media backgrounds, none of that. We just dudes that love sports, and we like talking about sports and sharing our opinions with it. And that's what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So my interview skills are not going to match up to Bob Costas or nobody else. But if I'm able to get some information out of somebody, man, in a way like we sitting in the barbershop, or way we sitting around the way talking, and I can bring it to the people, man, I'm winning.
Well, you doing good, homie. I mean, shit. You doing great, man. Just keep it up, man. That's it.
That's what we all doing, you know.
Yes,
with these things, man. It's like this stuff we talk sports all our lives anyway. You know what I'm saying? We've had probably some of the greatest sports discussions wasn't recorded or seen by anybody but the people we was around.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I know for sure, you know, me and Dean done had some marathons. You know what I'm saying? And from one topic to the next. You know what I'm saying? Non-stop. You know, I was like, damn, if this shit was recorded, you know what I'm saying, we was on the airways with some of this.
And it's funny, when we was having those conversations, you kept saying, man, yeah, I want to get me, like, you know, a podcast going, or you know, something going, and this and that. Yep. And here we are.
Yeah, and doing it.
We are
doing it. So man, you know, Bink, what's up, man?
Hermanville.
No Hermanville props today.
Hermanville.
So this is the first time I got my connections is a little screwed up, so I wasn't able to get the comments on the stream. So I'm kind of looking at the comments on the on my phone. So I got to figure out what's going on with the comments. and the connection because I couldn't connect my Facebook group to the live. I'm on my regular Facebook page and I shared it to the group, but I wasn't able to link the group to the live. So I got to figure out do a little troubleshooting with that for the next time, so I can have the comments up because I definitely like that interaction with the people.
Hey, Kenny, you on your computer?
Yeah.
Half the screen. You know what I mean? Put half the screen with the StreamYard and the other half make it to your Facebook. That way you can monitor both of them. You can see the you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, with the stream, y'all can look at them too. I could pop the comments in there. But
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna get it worked out between now and next week. Little messing around with it. So we got Cowboys coming up Saturday. I don't know who Colorado got this week. We and I'm gonna be clear, this ain't just Colorado and Ravens talk, but they dominate because we all fans of Dion, and he's a hot button guy. He gonna get talked about whether they win or lose, and of course, it's gonna be something after every game with them. You had the stuff with the Colorado State players prior to this game, this past Saturday. Then you had they got beat pretty bad against Nebraska the week before. They struggled with the team week 1. You know what I'm saying? So he going to be in the news just because. So we will definitely talk about Deion Sanders on the Sports Mix, and we are Baltimore people. So we're gonna talk about the Ravens. We're gonna be a little more Ravens heavy than the other. We'll touch on some of them other teams as well. But we
what
kind
the Warriors do tonight?
You know what?
They lost.
They lost?
And I haven't. I'm gonna admit it. I've been working so much, the last couple of months. I ain't really been paying attention to the Orioles as I was earlier in the summer. Because I just been on the grind. So, and I know the season is coming to a close, and they still in the mix. So I'm hoping that they can finish strong and do a little bit better than they did last year. Because last season was pretty cool, and it was even cooler the fact that we were there the night they clinched the division. You know what I'm saying? It was me, Cheese, Charles. Who else was with us? Was it Marcus? Yeah, so we was there, man. We got to be in the building that night when they clinched the division. That was pretty exciting stuff, man. So I'm hopeful that we get another run at it this year.
Yeah, I didn't think they was doing too good tonight because Blake Snell on my fantasy team, and I saw him, man, a lot of strikeouts and stuff.
Yeah, he was dealing tonight, man. Yeah. I was listening to it on the way home.
Yeah. So, any closing remarks, fellas, before we wrap it up for this week?
Good to be back on your show, man. Appreciate the invite.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Ravens back in and on the field, and football time is great time for us. We all love football. We love the Ravens. Lamar. I'm liking Lamar being back a little thinner. Last year, I complained about how thick he was and how heavy he was. I thought he lost some speed. He's looking a little bit quicker. This year, I like that. Still concerned with that offensive line. I'm still a little concerned with the pass rush. They was rushing pretty good early in the game, but late in the game when we needed some pass rush, we couldn't get it. And they do say that the Ravens have the second toughest schedule in the NFL. So those things do cause you to worry a little bit. I want them to get in there. You said Saturday, Kenny, they play Dallas, or is it
Sunday?
Sunday. Okay, yeah. So I hope they get that victory, man, because the division is tough. I think the Steelers have improved. Cincinnati is Cincinnati, and Cleveland is Cleveland. So I hope that those Ravens can.
And you know what else is tough? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They don't have a bye until after the game 13.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of that bye kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
But they got to play pretty much that may be one of the last bye weeks of the season.
Yeah, I've always been I like to buy a little bit on the late side because it gives them a little bit healing up before they start getting closer to the playoffs. But I'm worried about the Ravens, to be real, because that offensive line, man. I think that the Ravens were looking to draft a lineman early in that draft, but man, it was a run on them linemen, and by the time they was ready to draft, I don't think any of the guys that they thought was going to be there. So they wind up picking Wiggins, man, and then you get this other guy in the second round from Washington, and man, he ain't been doing that great. So that offensive line is paramount, man.
Yeah, it's going to be key. It's going to be key for this team, especially with, bringing Henry in and really needing to get him going. And of course, Lamar, you got to protect the money.
Protect the guy.
Got to protect the money. So,
and then on top of that, you see Dobbins over there killing it.
Yeah, he'll be hurt in 2 weeks though.
That's the thing with him.
Yeah, I like Dobbins.
I like him too.
I like Dobbins and Gus. Him and Gus over there with the Chargers.
Yeah.
With the other hardball, ain't that
with
something?
The other hardball, yeah.
Yeah. But I like what's the running back we got that's hurt? The one that blew up last year.
Keaton Mitchell.
Mitchell is tough.
He fast, man.
He got that breakaway speed, man. That just, you can't really coach that.
And I thought that his injury and his loss was the biggest factor in the loss to Kansas City, not having him on the field. To me, that was the biggest loss, because that speed that he got and that breakaway capability, that would have caused all kind of issues for Kansas City in that game.
Yeah. So, Cheese, I know you got the role. I got the role myself too. But
yeah.
Any parting words for you, Bounce?
Nah, man. I just appreciate y'all, man, having me on like old times, and like I said, I'll do the best I can to come on here on Tuesdays and chop it up for a little while. But it was great, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. So
condolences to the Jackson family. They
man.
brothers.
Oh man.
Tito checked out.
Not only the Jacksons, tough, to
Frankie Beverly
and James Earl Jones.
It was a tough week, man.
Yeah.
Tough,
God bless them, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Condolences to their families.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. So, with that being said, fellas, we're gonna wrap it up for this week.
All right.
Good getting back at it.
Yes,
what I'm saying? It's been a while since I've been live, man. But we're gonna Tuesdays at 9:00 is gonna be the day. I'm pretty much that's pretty much the best day for me. And I think it's a good time. Ain't no games on Tuesday, no football games anyway. So Tuesday at 9 will be the time. Gonna try to get some more guests coming in. Good little interview with Glenny earlier. You know what I mean? Glenny is been a guest with the round table too, but good talking to him, man. Again, congratulations to Glenny on the Hall of Fame nod up there at Morgan State.
Yeah, that's big news, man.
Yep. And I told him soon as he announced that he got it back in the spring, I hit him up immediately. He was like, "Yo, we gotta do an interview." I didn't think it was gonna take this long to do it, but
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We definitely locked in and said, yeah, we're gonna get that done. So shout out to Glenny one more time. And props to y'all fellas, man. Y'all know y'all been with me since the beginning. Next month we be 3 years.
Wow.
Next month, man, be the 3rd year. So, we're gonna keep this thing going, keep the boat rolling, try and keep growing this thing and try and get better with it. I'm making an effort, and I just said it probably about 3 times, to take trying out of my vocabulary. I'm more about action. I'm more about getting it done. Because I've tried to do a lot in my life, and I'm still trying to do it. So I'm eliminating trying out of my vocabulary. I'm about getting it done now. So that's how it is moving forward for me.
Yeah. Instead of you trying, you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing it. So I'm gonna get on out of here, fellas. 11 o'clock.
Right.
I ain't know this late. Time fly when you're having fun again.
I know, right?
You know. But we will see y'all fellas next week. Thank everybody for tuning in, man. I wish I could have had everything lined up so I get the comments on the show, but we're gonna tighten it up. We're gonna get it right next week, man. So if y'all tuned in, don't forget, hey, like, comment, share, subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X. I'm on all of them. I'm on all platforms, the Sports Mix Podcast. Share this video, comment, like, help get these numbers up, take us to the next level. Y'all have a good one.
Peace, fellas.
Peace.
Later.
All right.